Let's see how rusty I am.
Hello, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Did you vote for me?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. It's gonna kick me right, and hopefully you didn't vote for Val.
Right, because he
You
loses
as long as she's not here.
on the count.
On the count.
I was just saying that. I think I lose to you like by 10 or so votes.
Oh, watch, Val, it's gonna be hundreds. The spread is hundreds and it's like seriously humbling.
I'm just enjoying this moment.
Yeah.
Because I feel the pain. Yeah, we're ready to roll. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. It's May 19th at 4:01 p.m. Let's see, this meeting is being audio video recorded. Anything you say or show on the will be shown on the town's YouTube channel. The HDC accepts publics from the comments at hdcpubliccomment@nantucket-ma.gov. Comments are due by 8 a.m. the Monday prior to the meeting. This meeting will continue till 7 p.m. It is an old business agenda, and that's our set point. Let's see, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Why don't we go with those present? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Let's see, for those presents portion of our voting will be Angus, Abby, myself, Ray, and Connie. And,
Mr. Chair,
yeah,
I hate to interrupt. Before you all make the motion on your consent, I was wondering if the commission would be so kind to do a consent with conditions for the two Magnolia, just for the historic information. This is an 1893
Fine.
structure.
I'll make that motion.
2 Magnolia is
Second.
number 2 on the agenda. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we'll go, are any recusals on consents? Okay.
Not on.
Commissioner Paul, would you like to make a motion on consent?
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of a modified motion, and that is to approve the consents with item number 2, to Magnolia, providing the historic information as part of the approval.
Oh, and
So it would be a consent with conditions.
I want to announce that I will recuse from this.
Oh, okay, I'm chairing. So let's see, it's the 4 of us here, nobody on Zoom, right? Yeah. Right? Joe is on? I'm gonna
I am.
skip Joe Joe, I love you, but I'm just gonna do the 4 of us here because we're only 2 and I'd prefer not to do a roll call. So,
I'll make that motion. if you
yeah,
want to
okay,
do that.
thanks, Abby. So the motion, just for clarity, is that we're approving the consents, albeit with 2 Magnolia. The condition will be to provide the historic information required for the release of the approval. All those in favor, those people being Angus, Abby, Connie, and myself, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No.
Okay, with that,
Opposed, right?
thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
We're going to move on to Commissioner Q&A with the preservation planner. This is that time of the meeting where we have had an opportunity to review staff review from Holly Backus. And does anyone have any questions for Holly? And Holly, do you have anything for us?
Yeah. I mean, yes, I would like to hear.
I don't, but just that I wanted to, because of the amount of old business, I was able to, and I was finishing some up today, so my apologies, but everything has been printed in before you, Mr. Chair. And it also, everything is online, so if you're able to look at it, but I got down to 5 Meter Street.
Okay,
under old
cool.
business.
5 meter will get us pretty far into
Oh,
the
yeah.
agenda. 1, 2, 3, there's a handful left.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Holly. Let's see. With that, we will go to signs. And is there any motion?
Okay. I'm going to make my usual. So I would move to approve the signs as per the sign advisory recommendations.
Can I make just a minor?
Yeah, I know.
Just-
There was
just-
some verbiage there that you want to amend.
Just to accept the,
Yeah.
because some of them are for revisions.
Right.
So if we say,
So let me redo that. My motion is to accept on each of these the sign advisory recommendations.
thank you. We'll vote those present. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. And then we're on to an amendment, and you chaired this one. Do you want to amended a
Yeah,
motion?
so is this just
Do you want me to explain it, Mr. Chair? Mr. Acting Chair?
There, and then the amended is below.
Did you want me to explain it to you?
yes, please.
So
'cause-
last week I had motion to hold for revisions and it was actually motion to approve.
Oh,
So I just made it just
so this is
change.
just a clerical kind of thing?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Just
So
amend the
sitting
motion.
on this, did everybody get what Kathy just said? Okay. I'm chair, Abby, you're on it, Val's not here, Angus is on it, and fortunately Connie is an alternate, so we can put this through. Is everybody okay with this? As
I'll
being
make that
approved?
motion what are we doing? Adopting, so we approved it. It's not held for,
No, through you, Mr. Chair, to Abby, it's a motion to approve per signed advisory comments.
Okay.
Last week it was motion to hold for revisions, so it was just
Yeah.
typo.
right. So just motion to approve.
As per sign advisory, right?
for some
Okay.
advice.
All those in favor at the table, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, very good. Now we're old business of 331.
And I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to make your indulgence, everyone. I think what we just want to do in order to avoid that and the earlier is just, we will make motions to adopt the sign committee's recommendations.
Yeah,
And that'll just keep it easy for everyone going
I
forward.
keep forgetting.
Yeah, I did. I get it a little confused.
Oh, real quickly, it said revisions on the
No,
agenda.
I'm saying going forward, we will motion to adopt. If we agree with what they say, we will motion to adopt, because if they say revisions, it's accepted. If they say approve, it's accepted. So the motion to adopt the sign committee's recommendation keeps it clean and we don't have to revisit them. Okay, let's see, we're on to 8 Cato Lane. Rich, morning, good
How are you?
afternoon, good evening. We got the bases covered, we're ready to go.
Sure.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I have an early announcement to make. I got a text from the election desk. Ray Paul and Val Oliver have both won their seats at the HDC. I wanted to wait
No,
till
that's
Val
not
got
a
here.
competition was.
It's solely official.
Is it official?
Says right here.
But the polls aren't even.
Well, you were the
closed
only two
yet.
running.
Well, I know.
Come on, let's give it a little more.
Okay, Rich.
Okay,
Sure.
I just need to, can I do my stump speech?
Yes,
now?
go ahead.
No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Val's
No.
practicing hers in the elevator. Rich, sorry.
But it's all right. So I missed the last meeting, which was like 4 meetings ago or 4 weeks ago. So I'm here for the landscape plan for both 8 and 10 Cato Lane. So the last time we put it on one plan. So we can review them separate. We can review them both, but it's basically one plan for both properties.
I didn't bring my tablet today.
Yeah, Rich, by one plan, you mean we're looking at it on one page?
One
right?
page.
But,
So
the two properties.
two
obviously have
properties, one
different
page.
Characteristics.
So we're going to discuss the furthest away from.
Is number 8.
8. So
Yep.
and that's first on the agenda.
Sure.
Hit that one.
So
Mhm.
Why don't you tell us a little bit
Sure.
about it? Because everybody has their tablet up.
Sure. So I think this is the second revision. So this is the third time that you've seen this. And basically the last time we were talking about the retaining wall. So originally there was a 4-foot retaining wall on the back of the property. And the issue was seeing that from the land bank. So we moved the wall in from the property line 2 feet. So it's 2 feet, a 2-foot high wall, and then another 2 feet and a 2-foot high wall with plantings basically between the walls so that you don't see it from the land bank property. That was the biggest concern from the last time. And I provided cross sections, which you guys had asked for. So when these drawings pull up, you'll see those, or if you see them on your tablet, I've kind of highlighted the areas of concern.
Okay, thank you. Did anyone not preview? I guess, does anyone have any concerns?
I just wanted to know where the stairs went. That's kind of, is that just like a little private access to the land bank or what?
It's a private access for number 8 Cato Lane there. Yeah. So we kind of pushed everything away from the property line and added plantings per your suggestion.
Okay, thank you. Abby?
Just, what are the plantings? What kind of plantings?
So-
Sort
We had talked about evergreens, I think during one of those meetings. I think there's a lot of deer in that area. So I think we just have to find something that is somewhat deer resistant. So whether that's evergreens, deciduous, a mix of both. Again, I'm open to any thoughts, but my plan is to put something that screens the wall, but also is somewhat deer resistant, which there's not many out there
yeah.
anymore.
I know. Yeah, I'd go along with that. Not arborvitae.
No.
That's- I'm digging those up every year. Yeah, I could go along with that. Yeah, just to soften that look from the land bank. I think that was our main concern.
Cool.
Yep.
Anyone else?
I'm good. Well,
So your board-
I'll elaborate.
1 sec, please,
Yeah,
sorry.
go.
Your board, Rich, just for clarity, is myself, Ray, Abby, Angus, and Connie, which happens to be very convenient because we're
Right.
all sitting here, but for
Right.
the record, Ray, please.
I'm satisfied. Our concern was really, I think initially, this proposal had a single 4-foot wall, which would have been hard to screen. Now it's 2 2-foot walls. It's got layers of vegetation. It's all on this property as opposed to on land bank property. So I'm happy. I'm content that this will screen things sufficiently. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Anyone
I,
else?
I
Motion?
had a concern.
Oh, Angus?
Yeah, so I think that the idea of stepping off the property line, I mean, I don't know what all's going to grow within 2 feet, but something. And so let's say that hides the wall. But when you look at the section BB, you can see, there's like this 4-foot, like from nothing to 4 feet high. And it's a weird transition. But my concern, more than that, is then the 6-foot fence on top of that, which is, may as well be a 10-foot fence from where you're standing. So, that's really my concern. So I'm hoping that those lower, whatever's growing is going to screen that in a way that it's not so 10-foot
Yep.
fence in front of you.
I agree.
The land bank, at any point can change any of their trails. Right now, it's pretty gnarly in there with evergreens and trees, but it's all land bank. So, I mean, you can get right up to this in that section. I don't know if it's showing up, but,
Can you go to the cross section, please? Pam?
it's page 8 of 9.
Can I ask Rich a question while we're waiting? for
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
Remind me of the 6 feet. It's not for a pool fence.
It's more for privacy and to keep the deer out. So if we have some vegetation, hydrangeas, things like that, we're just trying to keep
I
them
see.
alive.
Okay.
Let me just zero in.
And Rich, what are you gonna make the fence out of, are the retaining walls, PT?
Pressure treated, yeah.
Okay. Angus?
Okay, so this is the concern off to the left there, is this 10-foot fence basically. And this already feels awkward.
I have a suggestion.
Yep, Abby?
So, I just went through this with my neighbors and just above me on Lily Street, and they, I won't mention any names, but the landscapers came up with an idea with, doing, instead of a board fence, it would be, posts with, 4-inch wire, so nothing can get through them. You can do rabbit stuff on the bottom, and we wouldn't see that. But it might be less egregious, than a whole board that,
Yeah,
might be
can
a
I
suggestion.
chime in?
Go
I
ahead.
think on the backside of the property, like that directly abuts land bank, I think a fence like that would be fine because it's going to be planted on both sides. I think like down the property line is more of a privacy fence from the neighbor. So that fence on the back, I'm happy to switch that out to a post and wire.
Simple. I want to throw a wrench in this that I think might be actually positive. Looking at this cross section, which was very helpful to me, I think the significance of the planting is minimal. And I would suggest instead that now that we see the slope, that starting where the plant material is shown in the yard and ending at the property line, is that this just berm down at a quarter turn, and you can plant out. You can create little plateaus in the berm for plant material and just plant it out with indigenous plant material that tend to be deer resistant in a naturalized way. It will look more natural from the land bank. It's going to look more attractive from your side, and if the deer fence, which is what it will be in essence, is planted with like a climbing hydrangea or something, which will eventually take it over and cover it and be a living wall. I'm not suggesting you have to do that. It's going to be screened, but you're not going to want to be looking at that. And there's somebody over there who probably would tell you how quickly those things will acclimate once they're planted. It takes a couple of years, but you get a larger one and it starts to acclimate more quickly. It's going to be more attractive. It's going to be more effective. I'm not married to the idea. You put the work in on this, but when you mention PT, I'm thinking about those extensive retaining walls over at Old Mill, the subdivision there. And that is going to be a nightmare of maintenance. And does maintenance affect us? No, but having this be an effective visual barrier for years to come does. And I think just a natural berm, even if it's a little steep, is going to be more beneficial than having a PT that gets chowed by carpenter ants. And the whole thing dissolves into, a misfortunate mess over time. Thoughts on that?
I mean, we've gone through this a number of times. We looked at that exercise before, and we ultimately, the owners have ended up with this sort of look. That's why we went with 2 feet and plantings in between to help hide everything.
So my only statement then would be that the pool needs to not be visible at time of inspection thereafter from the land bank side.
Which is fine.
That would be my only concern in this approach.
Sure.
So those are my comments. What would we like to do, folks?
Okay, to be clear, so I understand that the most recent proposal prior to what Stephen just said was to have the fence be a wire fence, right?
Mhm.
A wire deer fence as opposed to a board fence, which I would certainly prefer.
Yeah. So where I was leaving it was what's proposed. Sans a wooden fence at the rear, replaced with a wire fence, typical deer fence,
Yep.
4-inch galvy with PT posts.
Yep.
Right.
You might want to try round. They're going to look a little bit better until the stuff grows in. The square is,
Yeah.
it's up to you. Not delineated.
Would you be opposed to, so I know a lot of fences are black powder coated metal posts with the wire. So it's like all black and tends to hide better than PT.
Yeah, that's what they did. They did this right above me, and I barely can see it. It's
Yeah.
so weird. They
With-
put it,
With the black posts.
but with
Ma-
also with vegetation. Yeah, with black posts rather than the
PT.
wood ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that sounds like we have
I
the,
can-
right?
I can make that motion.
Perfect. Exhibit A. And
Yeah,
Can we
so-
carry this over to Cato 10?
Yeah, is the same arrangement happening over there with the tiered walls and the fence and all that?
It's less steep there, so the
Right.
kind of wall just dies into grade.
Okay, but we can make the same sort of, blanket
Yep.
proviso. Yeah, okay, so my motion is to approve both 8 and 10 Cato Lane landscape with an Exhibit A that would change the 6-foot wood fence along the back line to a wire fence, wire deer fence with pressure treated wood posts. Yes. Did I cover it?
Can I second that for just
Yeah.
to add as far as the vegetation that it significantly obscures the view to the pool and
Okay, well,
And the
how about I
the wire
attack by
fence.
the usual
Yeah,
pool?
not visible at time of inspection.
Yeah, the not visible bit. Is that okay?
yeah, not just the pool, but like the fence.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the pool and the fence will not be visible at time of inspection and thereafter.
Okay.
There's the full motion, which I'll draw.
What happened?
I'd like to, because this is, it's at the back of the house on land bank property that's not frequently traveled with a path. And there's extensive landscaping there, so if there's like a smidge of the fence that shows, I don't think that's fair to the applicant. It's a deer fence in the back of the property. So I would just say that would be, we can leave it like it is, but I think there needs to be a little latitude in that.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, was that wooden posts or metal posts?
Metal, black metal, powder coat.
right. It's metal,
Black.
yeah.
Are you on this one or you just getting ready?
I'm getting ready for that.
Oh, thank you.
Cue the-
Okay, so on Ray's motion as exhibit A for numbers 8 and number 10, Ray?
Aye.
Oh, we're all here. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich, for sticking it out with us. Okay, you got the next couple.
Well, I'm sharing the next one.
Yeah.
But you're chairing the one. after
Okay,
that,
so I'll
I
take
can
these
kind
for
of
you.
lag back. So, yeah, I'm chairing Cherry. That's you,
Yeah.
friend.
Right.
And Abby, Angus, Connie. Was this the one that Joe could not mull in?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Joe, shame on you, but so you have a 4-person board. Is that all right? Ethan?
What, that's fine. I mean, if we keep kicking it down the road, then it's gonna be past that 90 days and I'll get my automatic approval, so.
Let's not talk then.
Good attitude.
I know, I
Terrible
know.
attitude.
It happened once
motion to
before,
deny.
so,
Okay, so 4-person board, you're good.
yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
So basically, this little building you see, we have approval to move it to 10 Pollywog Lane. That's fine. The new building we came in, the first design was too large, so we reduced it, or redesigned the whole thing. It was going to be a Dreamliner prefab,
Mm.
and then that was too large. So then, as you can see on the top, there's the original, and below is the next one down. You wanted to reduce the height, which we did, and change, shorten it, reduce the square footage. And you asked for a street, kind of like a view of the building behind it, which is also a prefab, and the one in front I did, I think it's on the last page. Yeah, there they are. There's the 3 buildings together. So how they'd look. So basically this is a Dreamliner building with a garage attached to it. And Rich will be doing the landscape design at some point. And so.
Rich.
That's it. I mean,
That's
if
it.
you go to the site plan, you can see the relation. It's its own lot. It's not part of 117 Cherry Street.
Okay.
So but one of the things was there was decks and stuff on it. So we reduced all that and just
Mm-hmm.
did a farmer's porch on it. And a proper front door.
So my little thing is disabled. Connie's is. You guys getting the
I had
images?
downloaded some of it beforehand, so.
I wish I could do that. Abby, are you seeing anything? Because like, I'd like to see the site plan.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
the hand raised is in a butter.
okay. Christine, why don't we hear from you while we're working out our glitches? There
Hi,
you go.
hi, thank you very much for hearing me. I submitted an email yesterday and I saw a previous email I had submitted for back in 25 when another version had been sent, but I didn't see that in the attached comments today, so I don't know if maybe that didn't get uploaded. But I had actually done an overlay and scaled the site plan as it is related to 117 Orange Street yesterday and submitted that with the new One Cherry. And I have a lot of questions about the overall scale of the building regarding that. And I had a few more questions as well too. So I don't know if you have the diagram that I did yesterday.
Did you send it to HTC public comment,
I sent it to the HDC email address.
the submissions email or the public
Yes.
comment? Okay, so that's our intake email for applications. We wouldn't.
Oh, I apologize. I
That's okay.
misunderstood.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I think so. I guess going down my list of questions, one, I think the plans and elevations don't seem to align on sheet number A. I just don't get a sense of where the windows and the doors, because they're not shown on any plan view. It's just a box diagram. I know that the new building being proposed is mixed use for both commercial and residential, with a commercial entrance that is directly on Cherry Street. So I think we, the neighbors, are asking that we understand a proper site plan be shared to understand the access into the building, given it's a narrow one-way street, and that the current One Cherry Street property has a large ramp currently for ADA. Oh yeah, here it is. This is exactly what. Sorry, I can keep reading. I think given there it is. So that's where I think where my concern is, that the two orange lines are noting two-way traffic in and out of the property that's shared. And I see that the overall sight line and plan for One Cherry intersects the parking spaces for 117 Orange Street. And now that the building is going to be multiple use, they're eliminating 3 parking spaces. So I'm just concerned for a safety standpoint for both pedestrians and vehicles. I was just asking if an overall plan had been done to understand the maneuvering for cars in this, because it is adjacent to residential and there is no on-street parking on Orange Street, Williams, or Cherry Street available for anything. Because currently the building is 384 square feet, and I couldn't see on the submission the exact size of the new building that is being proposed, but you can see it grayed out on the plan that I shared here today.
Is that it?
I think my other comments were just on the first page of the 7 comments that I had as well.
Okay, so, although I appreciate your concerns regarding, pedestrians, traffic, et cetera, that's not really our purview, as I'm sure you know.
Sure, sure. I understand that's probably more for planning. I think it was just a safety concern for everyone. And
Right.
I can't fully understand the details of this building because I don't think we have a plan that aligns with the elevations. And I think, again, we're just trying to understand the access because it's abutting directly onto Cherry Street as well, too.
You don't understand the access.
Yeah, so if this is the plan view, there's no windows, there's no doors. It wasn't very clear.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So I'm just trying to understand the
Yeah,
plan
yeah,
versus that. And I don't see square footage listed right now. The building on the property is 384 square feet. So I'm just trying to gain a scale of how much larger are we trying to go here. And I think that's where the visibility concern comes in of just for both pedestrians and vehicles.
Okay, so here's what I think I'd like to do, Christine. The board members have heard your comments and concerns, and if they share them, I would invite them to bring them up, as board members, and we'll see where it all goes. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very
All right.
much.
Okay, thank you. And it is the same four of us at the table, correct? Yeah, because Joe didn't mull it. Ah, okay. Anybody want to start into this?
I can give it a go if you.
Yeah, yes, please.
Mine is for Bowden still, so I can't bring it up, but so my main concern is.
Your concern is verboten at, oh, that.
Me
Oh,
too.
okay. Yeah.
But my main concern is, well, we're not giving Rich any place to do any landscaping. He's gonna do the landscaping. It's like, I've never seen anything so lot line to lot line. I think if this were on a bigger piece of property, I think the design would be okay. But somehow we've got to scale back the Cherry Street to Williams.
Williams,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, somehow, something's got to give here. 'Cause
Like,
it's
like
just-
remove the garage?
Yeah, or remove it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh.
remove the garage and yeah, do some additive massing. So the building in front of it fits nicely on the lot. It's lower, it's a story and a half, whatever. This is going to sort of overwhelm that other side of the lot. So I'm just talking generally. I don't have specifics, but
Okay.
thank you.
That,
Well,
let's hear from the rest of the members, okay? Thank you. Who's next?
I'm happy to go.
Great, thank you, Angus.
So, I think a good point is made that there really isn't a floor plan that reflects these elevations. They're just blocks for the first floor. I do appreciate the changes that have been made as far as getting the main mass to the front, and that being more typical 2-story with a story and a half addition for the additive massing, and then the next drop for the garage, but typically the garage wouldn't be attached like this. I have 3 main concerns. One is on the south elevation facing Cherry Street, where it's always confusing when a house is like, is this a house or is this a shop? And to have the porch columns come right down to basically the street and the door, it reads as a shop, but very few shops have this sort of, typical Nantucket front with a, 6-light door and 6 windows and side lights. The second floor windows, it would be preferable to have a balance, something larger than the second floor windows, but maybe smaller than the first floor windows, but all of them to be matching. And then on the west elevation, as you drive down Cherry Street, it's one-way street, this is the elevation that you're really going to see. So there shouldn't be a flush dormer that is running back into the gable. That the gable should be distinctly articulated, so that maybe the dormer can get consolidated and separated. But also the outdoor stair, and just the sort of the door in the side of the house. It seems like those are the kind of things that would be in another edition of the structure, but not just on the outside. So those are my main concerns. Thank you.
Angus, thank you. How about you, Connie?
Yeah, I don't have much more to add. I agree with what's already been said. My first impression was the size and maybe the removal of the garage, or separation, but I'm not sure if there's enough property there to resituate it. But I think that somehow it's just very large for that property. It just is over encompassing, I think. Thank you.
Okay, I agree, it's large.
Mm.
Interestingly, first of all, I will say that the improvements, modifications that you've made since the last time we reviewed this are positive, in my view. I'm not sure anyone said that yet, but I think it's worth saying. It is almost like the garage, if I were to choose one piece of this that I thought was the most appropriate, it would actually be the garage. And we're talking about removing the garage. You know, maybe the garage becomes a little bit bigger so that some of the other portions of this building can become a little bit smaller. You know, I don't want to design it for you, but I think that there's a concern among the four members right now that it remains too large. Also, and I don't want to sound pedantic about this, but I'm pretty sure that one of the requirements of a submission to us is that we get like floor plans that aren't just like a box that just show walls, you know? So I think there's concern among the board members to kind of see what the program is.
I can have, well, it's a Dreamliner building. We'll have them submit plans. They
Yeah.
just had me just do the elevations. I'm not involved with the interior of the floor plans. That
Oh,
is, the building's based on their
Modular.
parameters.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yeah, and we'll have them do that.
something other than what we've been looking at, which is, and that is to Christine's point is, you know, like we're just looking at these boxes right now.
Agreed.
So, oh, now, Kathy, you mentioned something. Have you not granted us an extension such that you're going to get an automatic approval, or were you just yanking my chain?
He signed an extension. I don't know what the
You
new
did sign
date
an
is.
Yes,
extension.
I signed it.
Oh, okay, all right. So we're.
And I can remove the garage. That's just 2 parking spaces that close.
Well,
His favorite part.
well, no, all I'm saying is like, okay, if I had to get rid of something, the garage is kind of the piece that I think is the most appropriate. So
I could do a
now, I'm
one-way
not saying,
garage.
you know, getting rid of it would necessarily be a bad idea because it would reduce the overall impact of the building. No question about that.
Sure.
So you've heard from the 4 board members.
Yeah.
Let's see, you may want to, just to do yourself a favor, you may want to contact Joe about maybe mulling in, although is
No, his
two meetings is no good. Like,
well, he's here now, but he's not part of the board,
no,
so,
right, because you
Yeah.
didn't mull
yeah,
in.
yeah, so,
Now,
so
is the rule if you miss more than one, you're
you only,
out?
you
No.
only missed one meeting.
Yeah, okay, so.
But he
you're
would
kinda
have had to
done.
have signed the Mullen and it would be stamped by the town clerk's office before today's meeting
Yeah,
at
okay.
4.
Well, you're stuck with us.
Well, that's totally fine. I mean, I could make it one garage bay and would bring the whole thing, reduce the width of the whole thing on the lot.
Well, you
because-
work magic all the time, and I'm always amazed. So,
Mr. Chair.
But there were other,
comments.
things, yeah.
Yeah, other comments.
Yeah,
So,
you know, I
oh,
don't-
yeah.
So-
So think
Figure it
about
out.
all of
We're just
us.
gonna lop it off and approve it. So,
I would make a motion to hold
Sure.
for revisions.
That sounds
Mr.
great.
Chair.
So,
Wait,
And
oh,
I'll-
There's
sorry.
somebody in the public that has a hand raised on a butter. Isaiah Truman.
oh yeah, he's the property owner.
He's a property owner?
Yeah,
He's the property owner or a
the
property?
property owner. Yeah, he's the client.
Oh, Isaiah, would you like to say something? Oh, that's Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Okay, Isaiah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
what? Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Barely.
Yeah, barely.
How about now? Can you hear me?
A little bit of, can you yell?
Yeah, I can yell.
Okay.
Well, first of all, thank you for all your comments and feedback. I think we've been at this well over a year, and we are happy to do whatever it is you think is appropriate. This will be coming up on our 4th application. I know you don't design homes for or mixed use buildings for people, but we feel like we're grasping at straws here a little bit. I understand it's a sensitive location, and we're willing to do whatever needs to be done to meet the requirements but there is some kind of mixed feedback, and in the interest of time and your time, and trying to kind of get this complete. The more detailed you could be about what you will approve, it would be greatly appreciated. If you want us to remove the garage, we'll remove the garage. Last time we made it smaller because you wanted it smaller. Now I'm sick hearing, get rid of it, keep it, cut it in half. Your explicit direction would be greatly
Uzziah,
appreciated.
Uzziah,
Yes.
I'm gonna interrupt you. So, I'm going to applaud you on hiring a very capable person to be shepherding you through this process. And he's going to be able to sit down with you and sort through the comments that were made by the 4 board members. And you're welcome. Well, you've already watched it, I'm sure, but you can watch it again on Zoom to catch all the salient points that were made. And I know you're going to come up with something that we're all just going to love. Okay?
Thank you, Ray.
I'll
Thank
make a
you,
motion
Uzziah.
to hold.
Okay, so no,
Okay.
we already have a motion on the table, actually, and that was Angus to hold for revisions.
And more information, because one thing that we had asked for is a streetscape that shows this
He-
in relation
did
to the
that.
building,
Did that.
east and west.
Yeah, there was one in here. Yeah, like if you look down sort of at the bottom, you will see it. You see it down there at the bottom?
Mm,
It's not quite totally at the bottom, but it's sort of interspersed in there. His building is circled with a red oval in each case. Anyway, but you did make a motion to hold for revisions,
I
correct?
did.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're to Maxi Pond.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Chip Webster here.
Chip, you're with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, and Val's here. So your board, myself, Ray, Abby, Val, and Angus, alternates, should they be needed at a later time, are Connie and Joe.
Great.
And we're starting with the new pool house, although I kind of really like to start with the garage.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah,
Well-
let's, anyone in the audience or online object to minor modification of the agenda? Do we see any hands? Any hands up? Okay, let's start with the garage. That was the primary concern, I think.
Okay. So you can hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. Chip Webster on behalf of the applicant for several applications at 7 Maxi. If I can share the screen, I'd love to walk through, and we'll start with the garage.
That sounds good, Chip, but you are actually, since you asked, a little bit faint, not terribly, but a little more projection would be helpful.
Okay, how's that?
Is our
How about now?
Still a little faint.
Okay.
It's tough because our speakers are
How
right
about
behind
now?
us here.
Is that better?
Yes,
Yeah, that's much clearer. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so if I can share, I think I am doing that now. Let me know when this comes up, okay?
We can see it.
Okay, so they all obviously, I think you can be thought of together. I will start with the garage though, which is here. But I'll start with the locus first. I think everyone's familiar with the site. It's at 7 Maxi, and then the concern the first time the board looked at this was visibility from Comet. And you can see on this locus plan where there's a little path that comes in from Comet, and there's visibility from that. So there was a request to the board, here I'll come to the proposed site plan, to stake the property and put up bridge poles for the garage and the pool house addition, all of which were done. So hopefully you're able to go take a look. I know that Angus had looked at it previously, and as I understand, wasn't able to see the ridge poles, but we did confirm that they are all there. as recently as today, as well as the stakes. So this, David Trost is the landscape designer for the property. And this is a landscape plan prepared by him that shows the proposed additional vegetation that would be added between Wanacom and the rear of the property. So you can see on this also there is existing vegetation, all of which will remain between the property line and the edge of the dirt road. That pathway that comes through that does give a view sort of at the corner would be vegetated with the plants that he has outlined here. And then that pathway would turn into a semicircular one so you don't get a visual shot straight through. So the intent here is that all the structures would be mitigated through this vegetation plan. You can see on the right-hand side is the proposed garage. So let me just go right to that. Second is loading. Okay. All right. This might be a little confusing because we had submitted one. This was held to track. So, but we made some revisions to sort of simplify the massing. This is, however, the first time you've seen it. So what we are submitting is what is in the bottom half of this, if that makes sense. The left-hand side faces towards the inside of the property, and that right-hand side with the trellis on it would be facing Wanacom. Again, there's extensive vegetation proposed at that location. And then, sorry. This shows the backside on the lower left, and then this right side where there's a proposed attached carport element is facing directly into the property on the portion of the building opposite Wanacom. So maybe I'll stop there and turn it over to the board for questions and comments. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I can go back to the landscape plan or any drawing you'd like me to. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. On the garage, concerns?
Yeah.
Clear, concise, and consistent, please.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It's very interesting because the previous has advantages in almost every way over the proposed. So we have these big sort of 9-light squarely formatted windows, whereas the earlier proposal had windows that bore resemblance to the windows in the existing house. And I look at all four of the elevations, including the addition of this sort of porte cochere thing. And, you know, in every case, on every elevation, I prefer the original submission over what we have now. I mean, the original submission was clearly 1.5 stories, and this seems to be more of a 2-story building. So those are my comments. Thanks.
Thanks. Who's up?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I went again and took pictures to see the pole, if anybody wants to see it. The only side we're gonna see is the north, and I think that's pretty inane. There's vegetation in front of it, and he's curving the driveway, so I have no concerns with this.
Okay. Abby?
Yeah, you know, there's nothing saying we can't see the top of a roof. I mean, so, I mean, I prefer I prefer the new version. I wish it were a 6/6 window that we might be seeing popping over the top of the trees, but, what's the trim on this, building? Is it,
Natural to 11.
okay.
It's
So,
yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yep.
okay, so that makes it even more appealing. So with the added vegetation, I don't really have a problem with this structure. Thank you.
Thanks. Angus?
Thank you. So, yeah, when I looked at this for the height poles before, I was looking from Maxi Pond, and of course you wouldn't see them from from there because this is the back. And yes, you could see both poles on Wannacomet Road. And the concern that, I mean, it's heavily vegetated, except for that old driveway or pass through. And if that's going to be planted out in the same format as the rest, I don't have a concern with what would otherwise be a concern, which is this, windowless wall facing the street. So I think if it's just filled in that blank area as shown, with limited visibility of this, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. I think that leaves me. Chip, the newly proposed windows are something that's part of the vocabulary of the primary dwelling, or where did that come from?
Thank you for asking, because I actually think that the comment, I forget who made it, that those might be better as the 6/6. I agree with, and I would propose that we revise those 9 light to 6/6.
Okay. And then the height is not going to be, is mitigated by obviously what's shown in the images, the vegetation and additional vegetative screening. But just generally, I agree with Commissioner Pohl that the overall height of the initial proposal was just simply more appropriate at 1.5 stories versus a full 2 that's kind of cloaked. We won't see a lot of it, but I just want to caution, I think, as a general trend, that 2-story garage, 2-story garages made to look like they're not, is not the way that I think is appropriate to go as a member of the commission, is a general matter. In any event, what do we want to do, folks?
I'll try a motion.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the previous submission.
Okay. I personally, well, let's see on your motion.
Aye.
Ray?
I'd certainly be willing to approve that, although I'm not sure. Chip has offered to change the 9 light windows to the 6/6 that are all over the house. I personally would be content with that, but
Okay.
But we do have a motion.
we do have a motion, and it's a motion that I'm in favor of.
Okay, thank you. Abby?
I would be a no because of other things that are going on, like the dormers and the staircase and all that. So I like the simplicity of the newly proposed.
Okay, thank you. Angus?
Same here.
I'm a yes. Well,
Was the same here a no or?
I'm a yes on the motion.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
to be
I guess
careful.
a yes on the motion.
On the motion, okay.
Which was
So
for the,
4 in favor, 1 opposed, for the record, Abby opposed.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Now we're gonna move to the
Mr. Chair, for the
Yeah.
previous submission?
previous.
Okay.
submission. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
move to the pool house.
Okay, I'm queuing that up. Actually, it looks like it might be sharing. Are you seeing it, the locus?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the pool house. It's labeled addition here because a portion is connected to the existing house by breezeway that's on the opposite side of Wannacomet. In any case, so it's the structure on this showing as labels addition. Again, same thing. You have the site where this vegetative plan included here. This one is smaller. It's further into the property. If anything, it's going to be even less visible. In addition to visibility, there was one comment at the previous one made by Ray, which is illustrated on the right-hand side of this page, where he felt it's in the upper right-hand corner is the previous submission that it felt too vertical. So what we did was a number of things where we brought the grade. There was, as you can see on the left-hand side of the page, previously there were windows going into a basement space beneath it, which made that side vertical. So that has been removed such that the grade now comes up to the bottom of the shingles. And you can see that shortens that height on both of those sides. We also are taking off the outdoor shower. That was just as a side note. So there we go. Turn it over to the board for comments and questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Chip. Who'd like to begin? Won't everybody clamor?
Just digesting.
I'll go, Chip. I think it's too tall, but it's also not gonna be visible, so. I was in a house recently while everyone's waiting, and the new owners were like, I was like, oh, this is such a beautiful home, and they were like, it's so big in here. It's like we hear things echo. 10-foot tall ceilings that go on for
Yeah.
miles, and
Hello, hello.
that was the second floor kid's bedroom.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's this.
yes.
Okay.
I think your mic is off, Stephen.
Okay.
Oh, well, geez, probably a good thing. Thank you, Joe.
I'll go.
Dale?
Seeing how the driveway is changing, the vegetation's being added, which will block the garage, which is bigger. This is farther into the lot. I don't have any concerns. Typically, it would be smaller, but we're not gonna see it.
Okay. There's Val. Abby?
You know, I can't conjure up a feeling about this. I don't know, it seems like the site is,
A feeling of appropriateness? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know, it's just cluttered with buildings
Yeah.
and, you know, it's just one more building and it's just looking up the driveway, you're gonna see the main house, you're gonna see this building, then you're gonna see the, you know,
It's behind the house.
no, I see
Oh.
that. Well, I mean, I've been to Maxi Pond and looked back at this property and it's pretty wide open actually from Maxi Pond, so I don't know.
Concerns.
Take a pass.
Okay, so we'll come back to you as you formulate. And Joe, Angus?
Yeah, I agree with it being tall. But again, it's, I, one, there are two concerns. One is the dormer being so close to that north gable. So it's actually like a tall building with a 4-pitch roof. So I would rather see that pushed back if we're going to have the height. And I would certainly be happy with the height being reduced. And the deck is unusually deep and freestanding. So I just would want to be ensured that that the vegetation that is existing will remain intact, and that everything is going to get filled in as shown in the site plan, as far as, you know, any openings in the vegetation that will get even thicker and obscure the view of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, the deck is the problem for me, second floor deck, the size of it.
Would you care to put some specifications to that?
You mean how, by way of reduction?
Mhm.
Gosh, a lot.
Mhm.
It's
That's expert technical
yeah,
design,
yeah, you know, the decking, I think the square footage of the second floor deck exceeds the second floor interior program, honestly. Well, let's see, let's start it out. Let's do the John McLaughlin thing. I'm pretty sure that, well, yeah, and there is rules about the amount of percentage of the perimeter of the building. Right now, I'm reading a dimension that says that the second floor deck clear before you get to the roof is almost 10 feet. It's 9.9 in one dimension. Oh, and it's 9.9 in the other dimension. Let's say for starters, it could go back to 8. So that would drop almost 2 feet out of the length and the width. But that's by general comment.
And then you're talking about this area too that I'm seeing here,
Yeah.
this dimension?
Yeah, this is 9.9, that's 9.9, and then it's surrounded with a roof.
Okay, so Chip, part of the consideration there obviously is the distance between the buildings would have to shrink, or the roof pitch will be increase. What's the roof pitch? Well, whatever the roof pitch.
Let's take a look. So it's an 8 and 12 primary roof with the 4 and 12 dormers, which were taken from the main house. I do want to show on the site plan, this deck is on the opposite side of the structure from Comet. For what it's worth, it faces into the property. So just want to point that out. Thank you.
So hard to believe that they're going to want to see their guests sunbathing on the deck. Okay, so the depth and the width of the deck is expansive, and some parameters have been put forth to decrease it. Does anyone else have any? Abby, you want to take another shot at this?
Well, so when I went out there, which I think was a couple of months ago, that this was on our view. So
Mhm.
I'm just going back to that. When I was at Maxi Pond, looking back at the site, it was raw. It was way open. Everything was open. There was no vegetation.
Are you thinking of 10?
That's what I'm thinking.
No, I'm thinking.
Okay,
this
I just
was-
want to make sure that's all.
No, I'm talking about 7 Maxi.
Okay, cool.
So it has a black fence in front of it. It's very raw. It's just,
No, that's
Dirt.
number 3. The one we just looked at, that's number 3.
Yes, that's.
so, well,
So-
so I'm leading up to what
You have the floor,
is-
please continue.
I know I'm trying.
I know. It's okay,
You-
we're all trying to help.
Okay, I'm interested in the landscaping plan because it doesn't really matter if we can't see it. So I'm wondering what
Would
is,
you prefer that we open the landscape plan,
Yeah.
or would you prefer and hold this, or do you
So-
prefer that we?
me personally, but it's just me. I don't know
Well,
how.
the other option would be that, we,
Mr.
you know.
Mr. Chair, I'm
Chip,
sharing the landscape plan. Are you seeing
Chip,
it?
hold on, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Hold on. The alternative is we just kind of hold our nose and get through this one, knowing that with the landscape plan, we're maybe making changes to
Sure.
address your concerns.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's
Okay.
fair.
So let's work off this one, and let's see if we can come to a resolution on what we want. And I think it involves decreasing the deck size. Anyone?
Are we looking at Exhibit A?
I think we are.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Okay.
My motion would be to reduce this second floor deck size to 8 feet deep max, everything else shrinking accordingly. So that's a reduction in each dimension of 1 foot 9 inches.
I would second that, only to add that, like, when you're looking at the second floor plan, the deck that is facing the street pulls back that same 2 feet. Chip, can you go to the
Yeah.
second floor, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I just want to make sure that what I'm sharing, you're seeing, okay, because I had the landscape plan up and I think someone was asking about it, but here we go. Are you seeing that okay, Angus?
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
So right now, this is 9.9,
Yeah.
and so this would pull back that same 2 feet. So this door gets closer to this corner, that pulls back to there. So that would be the only part that I'd add to your motion.
With me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Chip, so you're gonna lose about 5 inches of the baluster height because it's a 3.5 12 pitch, so, but that's really, it's,
I was suggesting the whole thing coming in. So like the first floor deck will get smaller too. So
gotcha.
the roof pitch, baluster
Perfect.
height, all that remains the same, just everything in general gets a little bit smaller.
Perfect, okay,
That-
good.
That was what I was thinking.
So on your motion,
Aye.
oh wait, we're all here, right?
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Uh,
gonna do the exhibit?
Yep.
I can. No, I can.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries unanimously. Okay. Ready to do exhibit A. Pool house is done. The garage is done.
Mhm.
Open cabana.
Okay, do you want to go, I'll go to that next?
We'll open the open cabana.
Yes, let me just see, I had the shed queued up. Okay. Are you seeing this? Okay, you should see the site plan. You should see something that's, okay, great. All right, so this is an open air pool cabana. It's pretty straightforward. It's on the opposite end of the pool. I mean, it is, I can say for full, certainty, you're not gonna see it from anywhere. And it's one story, it's the other end of the pool. You can see in the landscape plan where it is to the left-hand side of the pool. And the usual pictures and the drawings. Thank you. Turn it over to the board for questions and comments. Thank you.
Excellent, thanks. Who'd like to begin?
I've been at this house, in back of this house, around this house. You're not gonna see this.
Okay. Anyone else?
I trust Val.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I think, again, just vegetation screens it. That has to stay intact.
Okay, so we're gonna have that landscape plan. We'll take up that wonderful point then. And what would we like to do with the cabana? Oh, I just want to comment the cabana. You remember back in the day when the cabana was actually the pool house?
Oh, you mean the name?
Yeah,
change?
now we.
Well, we used to have one less building.
Yes.
The compounds got
Yeah.
done.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, you mean cabana plus pool house?
right. Now it's a
Yeah.
pool house and a cabana separate.
They're gonna get some
Yeah.
echo chambers.
But back in the day, it was a little different. Okay, so we have an exhibit A and that carried unanimously. And we're on to the shed, right? Did we vote on that?
Yes. Well, I don't
Oh,
know.
we didn't? I'm so ahead of myself.
Motion to approve is
There
submitted.
you go.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, rewind the tape. We have a open cabana approved and now we're on to the shed.
All right, I'll just get right to it. It's on the site plan here. You can see it's on the inside of the property from the garage. And it is a super simple, straightforward little shed that looks like that. Thank you.
Okay, Chip, thanks. I'll be right back to you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Concerns anyone?
No.
I do not have any. I do not have any. Val.
Val. Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve is submitted.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, carries unanimously.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful evening.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Remember
I-
their names.
I could-
Yeah, it's great. Awesome, thank you. While we're waiting, guys, other good news, the Downy Flake will return to business at the fairgrounds.
Yay.
This is important community. This is a public service
You mean as
announcement.
a subsidiary or?
Anyone, is everyone listening? Public service announcement?
Just read that.
Yeah.
Exciting.
They're gonna be doing breakfast there.
Hey,
Really great
whole
stuff.
issue here. So I'm supposed to be doing the exhibit A,
Yeah.
but I'm chairing this. I'm chairing the next couple.
Um,
I'm chairing the next.
I
three.
can write it up.
You remember?
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
What is
Sherry?
Who?
Oh, no, there it goes.
I think so.
Yeah, that was a
This-
hold.
But I need the application for, oh, there it is. Okay, so I got this, you got that, everything's good.
Hey, Matthew,
Well, Mr. Chair.
did you ever watch that show Batman?
Oh, yeah.
Adam
Remember
West?
Adam West?
Yes, I know.
Is it Jen?
So it is, it's,
Say.
oh,
Funny enough,
got a non-disclosure.
he goes by Drew. So that when I saw the application.
Yeah,
in the
it's
agenda,
definitely him then.
It's him.
It's pseudonym.
He's got the Robinette's blue hydrangea around to remind him of his cohort.
That's,
Tell him I'm his biggest fan.
I will, but you know.
Okay. All right, so let's see, Matthew, me, Abby, Val, Angus, Joe, oh my goodness, Joe. You still there, Joe?
I am listening.
All right,
All
great.
right, with your
118,
permission, I'll get started.
New dwelling. Go ahead, Matthew.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you've seen this before. We've included the site plan, which is going to be the next application you're going to hear. And I know that the driveway was the circular driveway was an issue. I actually provided you with a rendering of the site. Now it still shows the circular driveway, so you just have to disregard that, but it was to show the house with the revisions. Also included a letter from the previous owner. She wanted to share that after we sent her just some progress drawings and the renderings, and she wanted to share that with you. But I do think it's relevant because her family's owned the property, and her father in particular had owned a majority of the land in this area, going back, a generation. And so I just thought that was relevant. As far as the revisions are concerned, what we've done here is changed all the roof pitches. We've dropped them to an 11 pitch, which allowed us to drop the height. We've done that in the main gable, the two secondary gables. The center gable is obviously the highest portion of the structure, but the remaining portions of the structure are in the range of like 26, as low as like 24.11, 25, 26 feet. And that was intentional, but we did really want to have the main gable really kind of punctuate the massing schematic, if you will. We've also omitted the chimney owls, which I know that was an issue as well. The other thing we did is we took the front porch. If you recall, if you look at the previous submission, the front porch was really massive, and I think the board collectively expressed some reservations about that. And so we've reduced it by 18 inches, and I thought that was a great suggestion. I think it still has a personal relationship to the massing schematic, and so I think that was successful. We've also omitted fenestration on the second floor, where in the two gable dormers where we previously had a triple unit, we've dropped that down to a double. The other thing, when you look at the rendering that we supplied, I also think that it's pretty convincing. Those double French doors, because of the shingled rail, which was another suggestion I think Angus had made, they do look like windows, which I thought was great. One final small detail is we added a shingle flare, if you will, to the base of the wraparound porch. We just thought that was a little bit more successful. We did on the north elevation on the right side of the building. One of the issues was we do have this drive out basement, and I think that the site plan, the new updated site plan that Lindsay's going to walk you through, is you're really not going to see it by design in terms of where the curb cut is. But even if it wasn't, what we did is we added that 1-story porch with a railing system. And so our intention is that you're really just not going to notice that. But that was really a response to trying to minimize the visibility of that walkout. And then obviously here is the rendering.
Elevation, sorry.
That would be
West.
That west?
It's west, but
It's west.
yes, west. Thank you.
you can just barely make out the garage
see.
doors. Yeah.
They're big.
Well, we kept the grade at the grade elevation it's going to be. In the previous iteration, we did a cutaway section, which is something you wouldn't really see because it slopes down. And if you're looking at the elevation from, say, the street, you just really wouldn't see it. You can kind of start to see the top of the wall, but I thought it was a much more successful way to hide that element. And again, I think with the revised landscape plan, you're really not even going to get that visibility of it. So with that, look forward to comments from the board, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Matthew, thank you. Any questions for Matthew, or would you like to start right into it?
I have a question,
Hmm.
and I might have asked him already.
Bye.
The access
Thank you.
that the driveway comes off of, that's a paper road?
Yes,
It doesn't go anywhere, right?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
And that's pre-existing.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, who would like to start into comments on the design?
I'm
I
happy
will.
to start.
All right, Val, go ahead.
I appreciate the changes, the reduction in height. the reduction in the porch, the reduction in fenestration. Yeah, I appreciate the changes as they are. Thank you.
Yeah, like, so this is the first floor, the second floor. This would move back to. Okay. That moves 18.
I'm happy to go next.
Yes, thank you, Angus.
So, this is a lovely,
Picture.
rendering. The trees are the largest trees that I've seen in that area are maybe half that size. It's like 6 foot bramble and scrub oak. And, this is, it's like in the middle of the Linda Loring sort of natural preserve. When you go to the locust plan, I think it demonstrates best. I don't,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, if you can zoom in on the locust. My original concern was, okay, Eel Point Road, this needs to be like, natural to weather or gray paint to sort of blend in. But once you drive down this road, it really is a tragedy of what's happened down Alliance, with the manipulation of grade and creating plateaus and so forth. And that's really built up. But once you leave this area, everything is sort of dotted along here like it was a new idea to build up on the top of the hill. But everything in this area, except for like some lone garage or shed, is low and wide open, um, uh, open field and low bramble, and anything larger than a one-story house is going to stand out as a monument in a field, basically. And my concern is the overall height, a second floor at all. I appreciate the modifications from the last rendition, but that was without really looking at the context. So my concern is the overall scale on this south side of the Eel Point Road. It just takes a trip out there to see what I'm talking about. So both the concern from Eel Point Road, but then if you walk towards that pond, the North Head Long Pond, you can see it there. And so this would drastically change the character and setting of this area. So just to reiterate, scale needs to be reduced. It needs to be more of a sprawl, and the colors need to match more with what is in the surroundings there, which would be more natural muted colors. Thank you.
Angus, thank you. Let's see.
I could go.
Joe, go ahead. Yeah.
Thanks. And actually keep it on the locust because when I previewed this and noticed that the building got a little wider, I went back and looked at the locust plan, and I actually worked on the house across the street, which was on a lot that got split into two. And I think Brooke Meerberg did the other house. And if you look at a lot of these north lots, they're long and skinny, and the houses generally sit in the middle, far from Eel Point Road, but as close to the water as they can get once they start hitting setbacks. The thing that stood out about this property is that it's not being developed with a structure, lot line to lot line like these other ones. And I know that both of the lots across the street, and similarly other lots here, you've got structures spreading across from east to west or west to east. And this one, my concern about the structure getting wider, I'd say diminished once I looked at the site plan. I think Angus's take on this is very, very interesting because that entire section of Eel Point Road is developed all on the north side, but not on the south. And so the style of this, the formality of this, and so forth, I believe is in keeping with the buildings in the area. And it raises for me a question of, is one side of the street dramatically different than the other? It does feel like it is dramatically different. I'm hoping that there's an opportunity here from a landscape perspective to it looks like you've got a lot of buffering along the street, understanding that some of it's part of the right of way of the road, which I guess would naturally stay wild. I think the degree that the perimeter plantings around this property are naturalized to mitigate the impact of this on the south side of the road, I think that's really important. I have a hard time thinking that the south side of the street ought to be a completely different context than the north side, which are these a lot of them are cleared lot line to lot line with structures that are very formal. So there's definitely a precedent that's been set in terms of architectural language, and I think this thing fits in. That's a long way of saying that I think this works, but it really does need to be sensitively transitioning to the wild landscape that surrounds it because it's on the south side of the road, and not be formally landscaped from lot line to lot line. And those are my comments. I appreciate all the changes that were made that I think addressed all the architectural comments that were made. Thank you.
Joe, thank you. Well, a lot to think about here. So, Abby, have you gone yet?
No.
I don't think you have.
So when again, I went out there a couple of months ago, right? I mean,
Mhm.
there were some trees, I guess they were sort of scratchy pines. Okay, so getting right down to it, it's almost 30 feet tall. We've been talking about this east side of Eel Point not having been developed like the north side. I think we could bring down the height. And I think a lot of this is going to depend on the vegetating it. But there's not a lot of species out there. I mean, it's kind of scrub. It's pretty bare. But yeah, I think it's I mean, it's a beautiful design, but I think it's a little large for the lot too. It's just my take on it. Thanks.
That it?
Yep.
Okay. So there was a lot of very thought-provoking things for me that were said in this discussion. Angus said correctly that the vegetation is very low around here. No one can disagree with that. Also, to introduce higher vegetation, I think might not be a good solution because then it's going to stand out as being incongruous with, all the scrub stuff that's around it. I'm of two minds because there's clear, obvious reasons why the north side of the street was developed, because that's where the water view is. And it just so happens that there's a big bluff there, big sort of raised dune, and everybody built on top of the raised dune. And I think for the most part, all those houses are, quite large. A lot of them have white trim. So to say, well, this is the other side of the street and it's not developed and therefore, it should be low and inconspicuous is, kind of, I'm not sure that's fair. However, having said that, I think that this is a very ornate house. It's a tall house. And I'm guessing the trim color is white, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so like all those things in my mind are kind of conspiring against it from a perspective of blending in. And I think, the horse has long since left the barn in Eel Point in terms of like trying to keep to that low indigenous kind of feel. There's still a few like sad remaining buildings out there that do respect it, but for the most part, they're gone. So all I'm gonna say, Matt, is my own, bless you, my own opinion is that either simplify the architecture if you can, like instead of the double columns, single columns, things like that. Perhaps drop it a little bit or, gray paint, although, you and I both have clients that are like, it's either white or I'm gonna lay in the middle of the street and chain myself to the fire hydrant. So those are my comments.
Thanks. Could I offer just a couple quick things?
Yep.
One is, I wouldn't disagree that in this area, because it's more restricted, or there's lack of development on this side, but on Eel Point Road earlier, clearly there's structures of similar scale on both sides of the street. In terms of the height, we intentionally, the main gable is probably the highest, so we actually pull our dimension string. That comes out at 29 and change, but the remaining portions of the structure are in the range of 26, and that was intentional. So I think there's probably definitely a way for us to take some height out of that center section and lower the scale of it. As far as what's going to be visible, I think on the first floor, Lindsay's actually here. He's doing all the landscape design, and he could probably speak more intelligently about what species are appropriate, so that it looks contextual and it doesn't look too manufactured. But I do think regardless of what that vegetation is, a lot of the first floor really, hopefully won't really be seen. So I don't know if you have any thoughts about, I know it's the next application, just in terms of
Okay.
what kind of species there are, but maybe at the next application, or if you want to hear about it now,
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
Well, I think that everyone's spoken their piece, correct, on the architecture, right? And Lindsay's presentation might change some minds, we'll see, but
Okay.
but I think generally what we're gonna be looking for is some revisions. Angus, yes.
Oh, I think it would be powerful to see height poles where the primary gables are, just to give perspective in the setting. I think,
Do you mean the long lower gables?
the
or
east and west
tall-
gable and the north and south gable, like,
Oh, okay.
just so that you can sort of see
Can
the
you do a map
mass.
for that?
and
Yeah,
the-
we can certainly do that if that's going to help visualize, certainly. And we'll do it
Okay.
at the
Well,
height that's currently proposed. I'm obviously going to talk to the owner to see if there's a way for us to get, because I think actually that main gable is by design, about 30 inches taller than the two secondary
Right.
masses. So there is this additive massing piece. So just in terms of the height, I do want to reiterate that really that overall height that I think is like 29 and change,
Okay.
it's really concentrated to just the ridge.
Understood. So if the motion includes a request for height poles and you're making your revisions, do the height poles according to what the upcoming submission
Okay.
would be. All right? I think that's clear. So do we want to move for some revisions and or height poles on this one?
I'd make that motion.
Okay. Angus has made a motion to, for some revisions to the plans and some height poles at the ends of the east and west gable and the north and south main gable. Let's see, Joe, you're on this, so we're gonna do a voice vote. Let's see, we'll start with you, Joe, on the motion.
Aye.
Great. Angus.
Aye.
Val.
Aye.
Abby.
Aye.
And I'm in favor. Okay, so there's that. Now we got Lindsay, who's gonna tell us all about the landscape. And same board.
I'll wait for the plan to go up maybe, or.
Yep. Getting it to work. If I keep hitting refresh, you know, the little refresh thing, I hit it over and it refreshes the little guy. If you just keep hitting it, sometimes it'll come up again, and then eventually it like comes up. Yeah. Okay. We good, Lindsay?
I think it's coming up in a second. But yeah, I mean, with respect to like the plant material that would be used as screening, we're going to use pines, eastern red cedars, things that are kind of natural to that area. We actually did one of the houses across the street, and we used similar plant material. You know, the road, the property line is off the road, so all that vegetation is going to remain. Our goal is to not make it super formal. Like the plan is to naturalize, keep as much of the brush around the perimeter as possible, and then, you know, naturalize it with viburnum, bayberry, and eastern red cedars, pines, things that are indigenous to the area. And just like on the interior part, have more formal plant material, lawns but it's a lot of grasses and a lot of native stuff. But with respect to the landscape pool plan, the two concerns that the board had last time were, we originally had a circular driveway, which, you know, kind of came close to that upper property line. We've since removed that and just have the parking area right in the front there. Again, we'll vegetate, you know, so you won't see any of that anyway. And then the other change the board requested was, we originally had the second curb cut coming off that private road, coming closer into where the garage was, the drive out garage, and we were asked to kind of move that north, so that to help kind of shield that entrance, so you couldn't really see what was going on with the drive on the garage. But those were the comments made last time, and we made the changes.
Lindsay, I forgot to ask this question of Matthew, but is there any proposed grade change here?
So on the existing lot is like 23, 24, which is where the house is staying. The grading happens at the back of the lot, but you can see how we move the vegetation closer to the pool, because the intent is to have the grasses at the pool level and then grade it down.
It drops off.
It drops off. So we sloped it during that whole period, and we've got it planted out.
Okay. All right, thanks. Any other questions, or should we get right into it?
I have one,
Yeah.
because grade always throws me. Is there a wall?
No,
No wall.
no wall.
Okay.
No wall along the
Showing
back.
a colonial field stone wall.
The only wall will be the drive out garage, but the back
Yeah,
is meant to
drive
be
out
sloped
garage,
down.
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I-
Thank you.
I had a question about the grade too. So just to clarify, in the front, on the north side, from where the porch is to the north side of the driveway, all of that would be at the same level. So the grade changes, the natural grade changes would be eliminated to create an even grade at 23.
So the area naturally right now in the front, like where the house level is and the driveway, is roughly in that 23, 24 range already. So there's minimal grading happening at that part, but towards the back end.
So all that would be the same grade, or would there be these variations with the?
You wouldn't have no, it would be level in the front of the house with the driveway
So
in that
all-
portion, and then it would slope down on the left, looking at it from plan view.
Thank you.
Okay, comments?
I could go.
Yes,
give us
Effie,
that.
please.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why there are two driveways. Because it's making this whole site seem like you've got driveway on the left, driveway on the right. And what you're revealing from Eel Point, I mean, this is such an attractive house. I was thinking, you know, you get that, you kind of want to create a nice little peekaboo from Eel Point, looking at some of this pretty architecture. But you're looking from Eel Point Road, you're looking dead down at just the side of the house. Just wondering, I'd like to see a little more movement in it, but less driveway and all in front of the house. I mean, I don't know where this is coming from, but a lot of people are putting driveways like smack in front of the house, so you're looking at the cars instead of the house. There must be a way to somehow curve this around so that the cars aren't taking precedence over the house. So I don't know how to do that, but just yeah, I'd like to see some more naturalistic approach to seeing the house from Eel Point Road. Thank you.
And less driveway.
Thank you, Abby. Who's next?
I can go.
Thank you, Angus.
So I have the same concern. I appreciate the removal of the circle, but there's still a lot of driveway, a lot of parking in addition to, it's nice that the garage is underneath the house. I think that's a good move. But they're like, 4 pullouts, and 2 driveway entrances and the driveway going from one side of the house to the other in front of the house on the roadside. My biggest concern is just the manipulation of the grade. I appreciate the concept of planting cedars and pines and other things that are more indigenous, but my concern is that this is feeling very suburban for a very rural, rustic setting. And so it's a completely different story on the north side of the road. Like everything has been done there, but on the south side, this is just, and I agree, there's been a lot of manipulation of things and building of things that weren't appropriate closer to Nantucket Road, but this is a stretch where this is kind of still a sacred, open, rural area, minus that development on the north side of the street. So I think this just has to be treated differently than the rest that's on the north side of Eel Point Road. Thank you.
Thank you, Angus. So we have Val and Joe.
I guess I could go.
All right, that's Joe.
And we're talking about the pool too in this application, is that right?
Yeah, well, Joe, the whole landscape package.
Yeah, the whole landscape. So, well, I have no concerns about the pool and don't think that it's going to be visible. I think that I see some rigid lines as we look at this from a bird's eye view. And I think maybe softening some of the landscape. You've got one landscape corner that's curved, but perhaps on the, well, just call it the lower right side, take a look at that area, just because I think it might result in a more organic feel. The plant material is viewed from the road. The driveway, I appreciate the changes that were made. When I looked at this, the one thing that jumped out to me is that you're driving straight in, and then you're catching a glimpse of some of these secondary structures or cars that are parked there. I think Abby mentioned. I think that you could look at a different way of entering this driveway that maybe traverses the property so that it sort of offshoots off of Eel Point Road without having to make a 90-degree turn I mean, they're always going to be coming from town. No one's really going to be approaching this from the other way. And this, I think Angus mentioned, it feels a little bit suburban with these orthogonal relationships. So I think that the driveway approach if that was more organic, I think it would help to screen views of cars and views into the property, and maybe give even the owner a little bit more of a sense of privacy. And I'd love to see the driveway itself internally. Maybe it dips in towards the house a little bit so that you get less of a uniform landscape buffer that is currently drawn between the driveway and the property line. Maybe there's a chance to dip that in a little bit. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Joe, thank you. Abby, I believe it's to you, right?
I went.
Oh, wait, who am I? I'm missing somebody, right?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
I agree with Joe. A lot of what he had to say. I have nothing to add.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Joe too. And it's not the first time it was said in different ways, but the right angle geometry, sort of hard edge, straight line geometry, I think is working against the organic nature of the landscape out there. I think that was pretty much a consensus view, reducing the amount of drive if possible, or concealing it in some way. But basically, I agree with the comments that were already made. So, folks, I think we're looking for some revisions, are we not?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is that your motion?
My motion is to hold for some revision.
Sounds good. Val, thank you. On your motion, Val.
Aye.
Okay, Abby,
Aye.
Angus.
Aye.
Joseph,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. Lindsay, thank you. And now we have another Matthew project at 1R Old North Wharf. Shed dormer. I'm chairing. Abby, Val, Angus, Connie. All right.
Okay, with your permission, Mr. Chair, I'll begin.
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. So this was before you one time before. We're looking to do an addition. As you can see, that's clouded here on the street elevation. And we also wanted to add shed dormers to the existing main gable, if you will. So the feedback we received was that the dormers in the previous iteration were too large. And so we've actually reduced those, showing on the screen what they were before. They're kind of more full-size dormers, if you will. So we've actually dropped the size of those fairly dramatically, so they kind of read more like a transom dormer. The other feedback that we received was, as far as the addition was concerned, which was on the north elevation, we actually stepped down the massing. And one of the suggestions, given the existing massing schematic, was to, instead of stepping it and adding this undulation, if you will, of that ridge line, is to just take that existing profile and extend it. And that way the existing north elevation would remain the same. It would just be adding some length to it. So that's what we've done here, which you can see on the north elevation. So that was, the other thing too, sorry. The dormers on the second floor section of the structure, which is the east elevation, we had previously shown one larger shed dormer. And so there was a suggestion to break that up. And so we've broken that up into basically one larger dormer and one smaller one. And then, not to get into it, but with the Fibonacci sequence, went with 3 windows and 1, so that there was some harmonious nature to it. Again, this backside not overly visible from the street, but took that comment into account. And we've just got some perspective. So with that, look forward to comments from the board, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Matthew. What do you think, folks?
I'll go.
All right.
I like it. It's simple. It's keeping it simple. I noticed HSAB had one comment, and that was to try and make the windows on either side of the main door larger.
Good point.
Even if one was, you got rid of one, Matthew, and it went almost like back to what it was. Maybe the door not in the same place, but I like the simplicity of this.
We could
Thank
do
you.
that.
Okay. Val, thanks. Who's next? Angus.
So I appreciate the changes, the reduction in the size of the dormer and just the extension of the existing gable as opposed to a step down that seemed busy. I would be happy to see that north elevation that is existing to, even if the door is moving, to keep the door and keep that same scale window that is to the right of the door in the demolition plan of the north elevation. It looks like that's the same size window that is on the north side, that's still being retained. And so you could have those flanking the door, which I think is going to make the window above the door feel small. So I maybe experiment with getting that, to be the same size. The profiles of the shed dormers on facing east, in the perspective and in the elevation look like they're stepped back, but when you see the profile from the south elevation, it looks flush, and that's a concern. It should be stepped back a foot. So that's pretty much my comments. Thank you.
Okay. Can I just ask you a question about that? Is it step back?
It's not, it's
It's not.
flush. There's a pretty decent overhang on the eave side. And so it is flush. Anytime we have like an overhang like that, it does look like it's stepped back,
Yeah.
but it's actually not. It's very
Right.
perceptive. Angus, thank you.
Okay, just, I wanted to see how that was resolved. Thank you. All right, Angus, thank you. We have Abby and Connie.
I can go.
All right, Connie.
Matthew, I appreciate the changes. I think it's appropriate, and I would be good with one larger window, with removing one or making the two smaller ones bigger to match.
Sure.
Thank you.
Connie, thank you. And Abby.
Which is the elevation that it has the flush dormer?
That would be east.
East. So it's not,
It's so, if
But
you're
still-
looking from here at,
that's
from south,
right. Is that's,
that's what we're talking about.
but it is step back.
Well, no.
Oh,
It's an optical illusion of sorts. There's a pretty long overhang when the wall meets the roof line. So it overhangs. Yep.
is there a way to step it back?
I'm sure we could. Yeah, we could step it back.
I think it's the only thing that bothers me about it, the whole design. I think you've done a great job.
We could step it back like 6 inches or something like that. Cause anytime we have an long overhang like that, we can usually do it flush because it looks like it's stepped back, but we can actually step it back an extra 6 inches. We're just kind of tight up there for space.
Okay, that was it. So I like the improvements, or the modifications. How about on this the window thing that HSAG, pointed out? You have that window right above the door. It seems to me that if you took that same window and, put one of those on either side of the door, that you'd be accomplishing their goals. You'd certainly be making me happy. And I think it fits in with the Fibonacci series.
You'd appreciate that. But just to demonstrate that we
Well,
can add
they'll
those
fit,
windows, no
right?
problem. Yeah.
They'll fit.
No
And,
problem.
I'm just gonna opine for a moment on this, flush dormer thing. I think that, you should get points. I know what Building with Nantucket in Mind says. Building with Nantucket in Mind is probably making the assumption that you don't have a big dramatic eave overhang. And the eave overhang really does accomplish what the setback thing accomplishes. However, I'm just going to say that to note, because Matthew has already conceded he can move the dormer back, and I'm not going to say no to that. But that's it. So would somebody like to?
I would.
Yeah, I think we can move this with a couple of little
Make a
modification.
motion to approve through staff, maybe perhaps an exhibit A. To make the windows on either side of the front door, which is the north elevation, larger to
Mm.
match,
Yeah.
the existing
Yeah,
shown on the same side on the first floor.
Mhm.
And then to make the dormer, seen on the south and west, setback 6 inches more than it is now. That's my motion.
Okay, sounds good, perfect. Everybody's in the room, so on Val's motion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, any opposed? Okay, Matthew, thanks
you
for
very
working
much.
with us, looks great. Okay, now we're jumping to old business of May 5th, of this year, which is really good. 85 Vestal, there we go.
Ease.
Let's see who we got. Abby, Angus, Connie. And me.
Oh, that big.
Is it possible I can share the screen, please?
Oh, and you somehow wound up on
I'm
the
still
desktop.
waiting for it.
Oh.
Oh, no.
That's for Val.
Oh, she's going, darn it. Okay.
Yes, I
introduced she that going?
plateau concept.
Yeah, see the last page. Yeah. Um,
Oh, she's gonna do these today.
Natalie Kaufman, counsel for the homeowner, who is on Zoom. He had wanted to be here in person, but the scheduling issues, prevented that. I'm going to give an introduction and then Lindsay will speak to grading and landscaping and Uri will speak to the design specifics. I know this is everyone's, favorite
just,
prop.
you know, if you have multiple people, so you can just try and all keep it brief. Thank you.
I will.
Oh.
Thank you. So I know that we've talked about this many times and everyone's tired of hearing about it. I think along the way that we've forgotten our fundamental question is the design appropriate? And that's, are the exterior architectural features actually subject to public view, congruous with the historic aspects of the surroundings? And there's two big pieces of that. In terms of subject to public view, we have to incorporate screening. And Lindsay has created a thoughtful plan that considers year-round screening. And we have said we are happy to condition approval with screening requirements. And that has not made it into any of the meeting minutes, but we are happy to do that. Only the second story of our proposed main house will actually be visible for Dukes Road. And the reason that I have this photo up is this is 89 Dukes Road. This is taken at a time of year where the foliage is actually in place, but during the winter, that's all gone. Our proposed vegetation keeps that in mind. This is so viewable from Dukes. And again, we're only talking about the second story for ours. And this relates to the other issue of keeping in mind the context of the surroundings. As I've said, most of the houses in the vicinity were built after 2000. Many were built after 2020. And this is the house directly next door. And this also hasn't made it into the minutes of how similar 89 Vestal as a property, excuse me, is, and how much more imposing the main house structure is than what we're presenting. This house was approved in 2005 on the very first time it was submitted. There's been so much discussion of how it's visible from Dukes, but 89 right next door is huge. And 81 Vestal and 89 Vestal, because there has been some hindsight regret of 81, but fundamentally that was approved by the board. And we can't hold my client to a different standard than the neighbors. And other owners on Nantucket. And in terms of the view from Vestal, this is Ray Owen's house at 81. It's also very similar to what we're proposing here. But I included all of that information about 81 and 89 to just say, you know, it is arbitrary and capricious to permit our neighbors to do something we're not permitted to do. Let me just find the view. Do you know what I'm talking about? Your eye. Let's see. Okay. Just to give perspective on what is actually planned, this is the view from Duke's with our vegetation. And this is the view from Vestal, which is very similar to what's shown at 80 Vestal for Ray Owen. So we just want to be held to the same standard and ask that any changes are approved through staff rather than coming back. So I'll let Lindsay talk about grade.
Okay, thank you. Was it Lindsay next or Uri?
I'm gonna go next and
All
then
right.
your eyes.
Go for it.
I just wanted, I'll be really quick on the grade.
Great.
I just, do you know what, the grading plan? Yeah.
Tick, 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 tick.
We're almost there, sorry. No, it's a guest house.
Sweaty's going on.
Sorry. Just loading. It's,
I think,
We got it.
listen, it's safe to say, I'm looking
this on?
around and I'm seeing that everybody's on their laptops. I'm looking at mine. Is everyone else looking at theirs?
yeah,
Okay.
so, but why is that not on there? All right.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's shared.
So the plan is not shown up on there, but it's on here and it's.
Lindsay, can you just go for it?
So anyway, so we did a site section just showing the neighbors' grades and our grade with a line going between them. And our building, like our pool level is at 81 and a half. The neighboring property's pool level at 89 is at
Okay.
87.
You know, Lindsay, I'm going to caution you on something. What's under review right now is,
Well, I'm just saying it in context.
is
for
the
grades.
house,
Like
okay.
our pool, our guest house.
okay.
The second floor of the guest house is at the same level as the pool to the right of it. So what's happened is this building is, the house and property has been pushed so far down with grade, it's almost created a valley. Like at points of the road, like at Vestal Road, it's an elevation of 48 at one point, and our grade at the front of the main house is at elevation 38 or 38. So we're 10 feet below the road. And so I bring that up.
Yeah,
because,
and I
like, know
think that,
grading has been.
I think, I would like to speak for the board. I think we're all aware of that fact and we are happy that it worked out.
Well,
that
no,
way.
totally. I just wanted to point out that we've done what the
Okay.
board's asked, and that's the drawing I wanted to point out. Like, you can see the grading, right? And you can see how the existing grade for the neighboring properties, right? And that bright red line going across, that's where they meet. So it's like, it's our second floor. So I think it's going to be tucked in there. I don't think the buildings are going to be super visible from anywhere. So, and plus with the year-round screening and vegetation.
Okay. Thank you, Lindsay. Uri.
Now I need to switch to my part here. So as Natalie and Lindsay said, it will be screened as much as possible. The house what we did to the house is we try to keep it as low as possible with the main ridge, and I created, or I did the first floor elevation at 38 feet 10 and made the house, the back section of the house, the back mass, step down another foot, 1 foot and 2 inches. So it's following the grade, and we can actually make the whole backyard with the pool to work better with the main house. But I mean, we are discussing main house, so it's a 38 foot 10 and 37 foot 8, the floor elevations, and then stepping down slowly towards the back. I also did few views from on the side through all the vegetation that will be around the property, what will be visible from one and the other side, from east and west. And for the changes, I lowered the front from the south, from the front, lowered the front porch to be just about the front door, which allowed me to make the front second floor windows to be a little taller and to match better first and second floor, and not having too much space between the top of the porch roof and the windows. And infill the left part, as you were suggesting in the last meeting, where it was kind of open. So infill this left part under the porch, and revised some windows a little bit. And from the back, from the north, I did little changes to the massing, which I don't think we actually ever discussed this north elevation, but there is some windows open to the pool and to the backyard. And then the east and west are pretty much appropriate to what I did. I did some mass with the dormers, and the front porch is lowered and infilled. So yeah, those are all the changes we did.
Okay.
Which we try to keep the main house, I mean the front of the house, to be as simple as possible, not extend too far to the west, and make it more simple. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, folks. Do we have anybody want to speak on this? Nobody in
there's
the
a few.
room.
There's a few, but they haven't raised their hands. No one's
Let me
raised their
move
hand.
forward. Okay, just in the interest of time here. So you know who you are, myself, Abby, Angus, Connie.
I
Who'd
can
like
give
to-
it a go.
Yes, right, Abby.
Thank you. Appreciate the changes. I think the front of the house looks good. If it were my house, I might want to put some side lights on either side of the front door. I mean, it's nice and simple now, but I'm sure your focus is that you have this great view. So if you open that front door, or you have some side lights, it's going to add to that ta-da, looking to the back of the house. Going to the back of the house, I think the two sets of nano doors are a little bit too much. They're conflicting. I would do either in the secondary massing, do those, and definitely add the kick plate like you had previously. But maybe in that main mass, you go back to like just a simple French door with windows, something just so that it's not, you're looking up from Duke's Road and you see like 8 nano doors. Those were my concerns, but I think it's close. Thank you.
Great. Abby, thank you. Who's next?
I can go.
Angus.
So I appreciate the filled in area of the porch that we had asked for. I agree about the comments of just having some sort of differentiation between the the two sets of 4 doors on the back. And something changed from the previous submitted elevations that had the porch roof coming up to the sill of the second floor windows. And somehow that got lost in the proposed. And it's a little thing, but just not having the shingles below the windows, I think will help on that front elevation, but it just wraps around and it's the same detail on the west as well. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Great. Angus, thank you. Connie?
I appreciate the changes. I think it's appropriate. Again, my only concern echoes those 2 large doors on the back of the house. If that can somehow be mitigated, I think it's good. Thank you.
Okay, I would really like to get this through with an Exhibit A, and it sounds like we can. So the biggest concern was the 2 sets of, they were referred to as nano doors. I got a feeling that they're sliding doors. How can we place that a slightly different way?
I can
to
change
appease-
it into French doors.
French doors?
Yeah, like French door with the windows on either side.
You mean a pair of French doors?
Yeah, like a
Two
double French
or
door that opens.
with windows on either side?
Yeah,
And are you proposing that for the side or the main mass? Just so that if it comes to an Exhibit A, we can, draw it properly.
yeah. I would say for the main mass, for the ones that are in the middle here, I'll try to mark it up here with the red, like these doors.
Okay, main
them-
mass. So
change them
you're
to two.
suggesting that would be a pair of French doors with
doors.
double hung windows flanking,
Double hung windows.
right?
Like the
Yeah,
A's.
like that.
Yeah, see those A windows, Uri?
Yeah,
We just take 2 of those and put them next to your French doors, and the French doors presumably will have a kick panel on. All right.
Okay.
Okay, and I actually just wanted to, Angus, you have an Argus eye. So what Angus was referring to on the front of the building is the sills in the previously submitted were like literally right at the break point between the shed roof. And now they're elevated ever so slightly. Now, there's a few ways, simple ways that we can actually handle that. And one is simply to like take the whole roof and just go dink up by like 4 inches.
Yeah.
Which would be inconsequential in terms of like the look on the first floor. And it would get Angus to where he wants to be with the sills vis-a-vis the roof. On the second floor, I think that's like a very minor thing that can be corrected, but could be in an Exhibit A. Have I missed
yeah,
it?
no problem. No problem to raise it.
I could make a motion for approval with an Exhibit A showing the porch roof just getting a little bit steeper and hitting the windows just below the sill, and
Yep.
the quadruple door arrangement on the main mass facing north to be switched to French doors with flanking A windows. And all the French doors would have kick panels. That's
Great.
the motion.
That's the motion. We're all here on Angus's motion, which we can call the Exhibit A motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. All right, so we got that. Now, let's, I know.
It's like the gray is
Past the
lifted.
stone. I feel so great now. All right, so, okay, guest house. You may have a few more obstacles ahead of you, but like so. But, okay, this is very good. We got 1 approved, and thank you for working with the board. I do have to say that. 85 Vestal Guest House. I'm sorry, Stephen, are we boring you?
No, it's such a labor of
It's
love.
an
that
emotional draw on you. You poor
I
guy.
got to recharge my
We
battery.
got to get a little
Well, you know what
pot
it is?
set up for you.
The no pizza, it just kills
I
me.
know.
It's, you know, you need that little sustenance break. Boom, like that.
Okay,
Okay.
guest house.
Guest house. So the biggest concern from last time was the grading. We talked a lot about the grading. Uri, Lindsay will talk about how it was lowered, but not to the extent requested, and there were reasons for that. As we've designed it, it's nearly 6 feet lower than the finished floor elevation in the main house. Just like the main house, only the second story will be visible from Duke's Road. And similar to the main house, comparing it to what's at 89 Vestal, there's not a one-to-one, but the garage studio is sort of the most similar structure. It's much bigger. It's got a taller ridge height, closer setback. We're suggesting a pretty modest cottage, and we've worked to make it go with the landscape and have significantly lowered it. And that seemed to be the commission's greatest concern. And again, only the second floor should be visible from Duke's based on the vegetation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll go.
So
Oh, right, I forgot you're on this.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Is it just you or we?
Sure,
Okay,
it's-
right.
I am going to, I guess, say what we changed on the guest house.
Yes, that would be good.
I just need to get to it. Okay, so the guest house, we lowered it to 31 foot 11 first floor elevation, which we, as Steven suggested previously, to lower it as much as possible, but we could go this much, so we reduce or eliminate need for any too tall 3 foot or taller retaining walls between the main house and the guest house. So this was kind of the lowest point we could go, which I think it's significantly lower than the main house, and it's following the grade.
3 feet lower.
It's
Right.
yeah, it's much lower than it was. We try to simplify the pool area around it and put the retaining walls the way they make sense for the guest house. The only change what was there was because of the pool. Simplifying that, we eliminated this little step on the left side on the west elevation, which is all flat now, and the grade changed on the east elevation to be more aligned with the guest house. So we don't see too many or too tall foundation walls exposed. And yeah, nothing else changed. The guest house is, as you can see here, 21 feet from the grade or somewhere like average grade. So it's not too tall. It's around 400 square feet on the ground. So it's pretty small structure, I think. That's it. And also, as we were saying, it will not be really visible from Duke's Road. There will be lots of screening. From Vestal will be lots of screening. So we'll really see probably just second half, or the top, second floor, some of the roof. I think that's it. No.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good.
And
Board
actually,
members, any
Can I
questions?
quickly say one more thing? Just-
Sorry, you're what?
Can I quickly say one more thing?
Yes.
I just added some dimensions here from the Vestal. The guest house is like 104 feet from the Vestal, or from property line on Vestal side. And then to Duke's, it's like 160 or so. feet all the way to the road. So it's also pretty far from public way.
Okay. Thank you. Do any of the board members have questions, or do we want to hop right into it?
Mr. Chair,
Oh, yes.
Linda Williams has her hand raised.
Linda Williams. Linda. Get your finger on the mute button. Could be a prankster.
Go ahead, Linda.
Linda?
Linda, is your microphone off on your computer? Oh, no. it
No.
isn't. Okay.
There we are. Okay, go ahead, Linda.
I'm kind of irritated by the fact that they keep hammering on 89. There's a vast difference between my client at 89 and this property. This property is the result of a subdivision that created two small lots that are probably
Linda?
probably two and a half
Linda,
times. Yeah.
Linda.
But I'm going to compare it to this one, which is what they
Well,
just did. to
No,
us.
okay. What I would
I'm just gonna
like
have
is
2
your
points.
comments with respect to the guest house, which is
Yes,
what's
it
under
is a
review
guest
right
house.
now.
They've gone through this whole thing. I only have 2 points.
Okay,
Our
good.
lot is 2.5 times the size of this one. Okay? So it's spread out. This one is a much smaller lot with much more program going on it than 89. Granted, they're probably roughly the same height, except they're at slightly different elevations.
Linda? Okay. Linda, I just would like to say that I would
You
like
got a
to
pool over there, but it's up
I
there
want
on
to
the same
credit my board with reviewing this project on its own
merit.
merits.
But they did
as
go
opposed-
after 89. So I just want to say that our objection all along has been so much program on such a small lot and running down the hill. That's been our problem all along. Not so
Well-
much with the architecture, except for that secondary dwelling thing with the raised elevation, raised foundations and whatnot, which is much better now than it was. But those have been our concerns all along. So those concerns have not dissipated a great deal, but somewhat, because they have made great strides after almost 10 times before the board. So forget
Okay.
the 3 times and you're out. But just, there's a big difference between a much bigger lot congested up there than all of this program with the secondary, the pool, the walls and everything coming down
All
the
right,
hill.
Linda. Linda?
Yep.
Okay,
we're done.
thank you. All right, appreciate it. Okay, are we back to our board now? I believe so. If there are no questions, I would like to start hearing from the board, and I know Stephen's been chomping at the bit. Have you?
Thank you. Not quite chomping, but
Oh,
it is getting to be
okay.
dinner time, so I'd like to move things along if we could.
Yeah.
And the witching hour is 7. So I
Yeah.
appreciate the changes. I did a preview of this. There are, I think the substantial change is the grade change. It accomplished, in my mind, what I had hoped it would do. I think that this is approvable. I am not gonna, given its location, and the screening and the distance from the street on the backside and the limited visibility, I think getting into the 15% that's not perfect, for me is just not appropriate use of time. So, I think it's approvable as it is. Thank you.
Okay, Stephen, thank you. Who's next?
I can go.
Angus.
So I think we left it that we were going to try to get the middle of the house at grade, the same sort of proportion of the bottom of the joist at grade, the same as the main house is shown in that section, that site section number 1. I may have been the only one pushing for that. It's just this can't be treated like a flat lot that you just do a compound of guest house and pool and house and all those things and, have it work out. This is a relatively steep sloped lot. It's challenging to design for. and to sort of, have a more typical program set on it, there's a little bit of give and take. And the guest house is lower, which, follows the grade, but I feel like it could go lower. And my concern really is from Duke's Road is, the mass of the two buildings together, and the look. And I can't speak to what's been approved. I wasn't part of the approvals of the adjacent property, so, thank you.
Angus, thank you. Who's next?
I can go.
That would be Connie.
I agree with Stephen. I think this is approvable. I do have a concern about those sliders, but I don't think they're visible. So but I will mention it. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. We have Abby.
It looks like the gables are the same,
Pitch.
ratio, right?
You mean the pitch?
As the main house.
The pitch, roof pitch, you mean?
The pitch, the roof
Yeah,
pitch, they're the
yeah,
same. in the
Same,
guest
same
cottage
roof
as they
pitch, yeah.
come. Okay, it just looks a little squat. It might be, just because it is a smaller.
Probably because
building.
those dormers make it feel like that.
Yeah, could be the
But-
dormers too.
Yeah.
So I think my only concern is that the pane sizes of the French doors, like none of them relate to one another. You've got the smaller ones on the sliders, larger ones on the second floor and the French doors. I'd like to
Yeah.
see those all the same. And then you've got that side door entering another sort of, I would probably reduce those sliders to the French doors and 2 windows. Just because that looks like a lot of fenestration. So those are my concerns.
Okay. Abby, thank you. I guess that leaves me, huh? So to the French doors, which seems to be, the thing that was referenced most, with the grade, being a clear, talking point for the last however many months this has been here. I definitely believe that none of those French doors that are visible to us in the drawing form on the west elevation will be visible to the public. The only time I'm going to see them is when I'm there, invited over for cocktails or something. So I'm okay with this application as submitted. So, folks, motion of any kind?
Motion to approve is submitted.
Okay, let's give it a try. We're all at the table, right? Yeah, we're all at the table. All those, yes? Oh, we have a motion on the table.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Oh.
Okay, so the motion carries 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Hooray, there we go. 2 down. Do we want to review the pool?
Want, need, let's get it done.
Let's get it solved. I believe you're chairing this thing. No,
I was absent for some.
Mr. Chair, which one is going to be? Ted Lovejoy has his hand raised.
Who?
Ted Lovejoy?
You ready with the, can he identify what property he's with before he begins speaking?
What property are you with?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm sorry.
Which property are you interested in?
I'm the abutter at 34 Dukes, just below this property.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure you weren't a
Yeah.
Zoom bomber.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I've obviously commented a few times in the past. Thank you to the Uri and the team for downsizing a lot of this. I know the guest house was just approved. The comment I just want to make is that if there's not meaningful screening here, it will absolutely be visible from Dukes, particularly in the winter months.
So,
when
Ted,
it's
I'm going
in.
to put your mind somewhat at ease, I hope. The next application that we're reviewing is for the pool. And
Okay.
generally, when we're reviewing the pool, we're reviewing the accompanying landscape elements. So that is, you probably jumped in at a good time because that's what's coming up next. Okay?
Okay, good. Yeah, because
All right.
screening is
So,
badly needed.
so you get a front row seat. All right. So the pool at Vestal,
Yep. So,
everybody at the table, you know that.
it's a lot going on here. Hold on. To speak to the screening though, we're definitely gonna, provide all the screening that we're showing here, and the owner's obviously willing to tie, to the property to make sure it's always there and screening. We reduced the hardscape around the pool. I know that was a big concern, so we cut it way back, reduced it a ton. I think a lot of the retaining wall, well, I know the retaining walls won't be seen from a public way. Maybe the ones on Vestal when you're kind of looking back into the property after you pass the property, or if you're coming from the other way, I guess. But all the ones in the back won't be seen because of all the screening and vegetation that we'll be planting. We moved the driveway over, I guess, 2 iterations ago off to the left side because that was what was requested, so that the driveway wasn't all in the front of the house. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't
That's
think
it?
a lot of it's going to be
But,
visible. Pool,
okay, all
definitely
right.
not.
I'm sure we'll have questions for you. Okay, board members, landscape. And by the way, this isn't just about a pool. This is about the entire landscape, retainage, vegetation, the whole bit. Okay,
All righty.
you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
So I previewed this. I wanted to get some clarity on I was on my little phone. And I want to get some clarity on the extent of the retainage on the backside between the house and the guest house in the pool area. It's just top of wall, you're basically breaking that area up into 2 tiers. That's it?
Yep, we're breaking up into 2 tiers so that we can avoid railings. We're stepping it down that way, and we're vegetating in between.
Okay.
Which will further soften the walls so that.
So residential, you wouldn't be required to provide railings. It's not part of a dwelling, but.
Right.
Just, okay, so that covers that. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't missing something obvious. Other than that, extensive landscape planting plan, a lot of materials that are indigenous, several selections that are evergreen, and I'm not gonna get into the selection of plant materials other than that they're indigenous and they're evergreen and they seem to be mixed in appropriate locations. I do, with respect to the butters comments, feel it is appropriate to supplement somewhat on the downhill side. But I wouldn't go so far as to say it's an obvious area that needs it. It's just a matter of maybe a sprinkling of additional evergreen tree type material. And I think I also want to be cautious that there isn't so much that then what is created is the appearance of a structure floating on the hill above a set of treetops. So I think it's important to maintain visibility of grade is a different way of saying that. So that the eye follows the grade, it follows the plant material, but the view is broken up a little bit. That was my only concerns with it. Everything else is really lack of visibility. Remind me, what was the driveway apron material?
We're not allowed to have well, I guess we drew up a Belgian block, but.
Belgian, yeah, that was it. If you guys go with that, I know because it's a dirt road, but I would like to put in the approval, if I get the support of the other commissioners, that this would be the native stone colored Belgian block, not that white
You want to
granite.
do like the round cobbles?
No, it doesn't. Well, it could be that, but it's more that it's the color, it's the stone materials of our cobbles, which matches our native stone.
Yep.
We've got several of them in different areas where they've been installed, but it's, light pinks, grays, tans, a little bit of blacks, and it really matches the gravel. And I think in this dirt road area, brick is a no, the
Yeah.
white Belgian block is a no.
Yeah.
That's
Like
just my
Phoenician
thoughts on
block.
it. Thank you.
All right.
That's what it is.
Thank you, Stephen. Who's next?
I can go.
Thank you, Angus.
So on the apron subject, just in this rural setting with the dirt road, I think the cobblestone would be more in keeping. So if that's something that you'd be happy to do with, that's I'd prefer that. And my only concern on the north side where you would see the that area, I appreciate the same like aesthetic that Stephen was describing of just not having a house floating at the top of the trees. So just to ground it in some way, but definitely be screening the retaining walls, and certainly not to have the pool visible at time of inspection thereafter. That's all. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Angus. Connie and Abby.
I can go.
All right, Connie.
I really don't have anything to add. I agree with what's been said. I'm okay with this with our whole caveat. Thank you.
Great. Thanks. Abby.
Yeah, so I put a couple of questions here. What is the material below the pool that you'd see looking up from Duke's?
The plant material?
Yeah, is it just grass? Is it just a lawn?
Oh, at the pool level?
Yeah, well, burning down from the pool.
The very light green
Well,
to
it's
the north of the,
on mine, it's just white.
it's got a
So
really
this whole
faint
area
green.
here is lawn.
Is
here.
lawn,
Yeah.
okay. Thank
And
you.
then it's vegetation after that,
Okay.
trees.
Yeah, I do appreciate the way you made the retaining wall interlock and make a sort of a
Switchback.
yeah, switch back, which doesn't happen as it meets the main house. And I'm worried about the rigidity of those two retaining walls below the house and between the house and the pool, that it's just two straight lines. And then the stairs are another sort of rigid, the way you did that interlocking thing down towards the end of the property. I wish this were a more naturalistic look, looking back up. I know you need the retaining walls, but there was a picture, a photograph, maybe it was one of the neighbors where they had done this sort of winding staircase. And I think that would be more appropriate for this natural, sort of rural landscape than the more formal approach. But other than that, yeah, I would go with the cobblestone apron because it's a dirt road, and maybe pea stone for the driveway. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. Abby, thank you. And I'll stay on your point just for a second. The objective here, I think, for everyone, neighbors included, would be, so Abby, I agree with you in concept about the formality, about the double wall and the fact that, the steps come straight down, et cetera. But the objective and the thing that we've been striving for months and months to get is limited to no visibility, at least of the lower portion of any of these buildings from Duke's Road, which would include those walls, which are relatively low. I think 30 inches tops if we're going to code. And I was going to suggest, and it's been kind of obliquely suggested, that if we do our pool caveat, that we apply the same caveat proviso to the stone walls as seen from Duke's Road. In other words, they too should not be visible. Now, I know Stephen's going to make the point that it's going to be difficult for it to be like 100% invisible, but somehow I think we can find language that would get us to where we want to be, which is that they, you know, the walls and the pool would be largely invisible as seen from Duke's Road.
Just
Right.
on that point,
Yeah.
I'm not terribly, I mean, I wouldn't want to see the entirety of the retaining walls on the lower portion visible or in the upper portion, because if it were the upper portion for a different reason, it would mean that the pool area is functionally visible. The pool would not be, but the functionally aspect. On the downward side, I personally am not is concerned about, I don't think that it's necessarily inappropriate to see stone in the natural environment, as long as it's a more of a naturalized field stone type wall. It's not one of these chiseled, square cut, yeah, very cosmetic looking, conventional applications of stone, which would be wholly inappropriate in so many different ways.
Right.
So for me, the idea that the stone that you provided here, so long as those lower walls are not capped with like granite, as shown in the image, I think I would be okay if I saw little peaks of them. I wouldn't have it individually. I wouldn't have a concern with that.
Okay.
Good point. But they are doing like Pennsylvania field. Is it Pennsylvania fieldstone suggested for
Yep.
all the walls?
Yep.
It is.
If you guys like the New England fieldstone rounds, it's kind of like the cobbles.
Well,
but
that's what I believe Stephen
we're-
was
yeah, we're-
suggesting,
we're
and I
fine
actually
with
think
that,
that's
too.
more appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be more, you know, it looks like what we would find,
Yeah.
they dig up and they'd reuse.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we can reuse that if you want to mark that up.
Okay, so we got a few things. By the way, I do prefer, if it's acceptable, I think cobbles, to Angus's point
Yeah.
earlier, would be more appropriate in a rural context like that.
Sure.
So I'm a cobblestone fan.
Can we do
So
that with an exhibit?
could somebody make a motion, and I think it's an Exhibit A type thing, where we have change from Pennsylvania fieldstone to New England fieldstone without a cap on the walls. Cobblestone apron instead of Belgian block, and well, those were really the two things I believe. And then that would be blanketed by the pool, and the walls will be largely invisible from a public way, also known as Duke's Road, at the time of inspection and thereafter.
So moved by Exhibit A.
Okay, thanks. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm opposed.
You're opposed. Okay, so once again, the motion carries 4 in favor, 1 opposed.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, night.
Night. Okay, so Lisa has the next one. I'm gonna sit off of that.
Okay, we're up to 59 Baxter. Good evening, Lisa.
Hi there.
Your board is myself, Abby, Val, Angus, and Joe.
Yes, that is correct. Those are my
Right.
notes. Okay, this hasn't been heard since March 24th. It was the guest house. Just waiting for Fiona to get the drawings up, sorry. Or do you guys have them on your computers? Should I? Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, so the comments were, and the suggestions were to lower the floor, so we put in a mud block, so we took a foot out of the height. We you wanted the dormers set in, so we set them in 6 inches. And what else did we do? Oh, we also did the clipped gables on the end to have a little bit more relationship to the main dwelling, which is a hip.
Okay, excellent. Let's see, let's start with, just reorient myself. Does anyone have any questions for Lisa?
I had one question.
Angus?
So part of the motion when we left this on March 24th was the inclusion of the west elevation of the
Yep,
main
we submitted
house.
that.
With the cottage. I didn't see it, so.
It got
that's why I was
submitted,
asking.
a little bit later, but it got submitted in
Do we
plenty of
have it in the
time.
digital record? By any chance?
I can pull it up on my phone if I have to and resend it.
It has a plan.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm doing that.
Oh, the more. Angus was looking for some
Oh, the main house?
main house imagery.
It was just a question because I didn't see it as part of the.
Yeah, we submitted it
yeah.
last week. I asked him to do it and Tammy said she brought it down and put it in the file. So I'm not so sure why it's not showing up. So I'm trying to find it on my,
Do all these get submitted to the HDC submissions email address?
Yes, yeah, but sometimes it
just
is
curious.
even after, I mean, it just.
Yeah, I was just curious.
here it is. I mean, I don't know that I can. Get it to you.
Well, we're all right here,
Do you have a picture of it?
We'll just pass your phone around.
Yeah. That's fine.
I can email it to somebody and we can bring it
Do
up.
we have any abutters or anyone interested, any interested parties?
No one's raised their hands just now.
Yeah, so Joe's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I
it's the-
remember the house.
It's,
So what I want to do, Lisa, is if you can take a screenshot and text that to Joe.
Yeah.
And then you said that it's already in the record?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, just,
Today.
that's fine. I just want to make sure it's in the record so that if somebody has a question, they can reference it.
She didn't realize it.
And Angus, now that you've seen it,
Yeah, the overall height compared to the main house is still a concern. I think the clipped gables went a long way. So I think that was a smart move to sort of meet the hipped roofs of the main house. But the height of the eaves are still high compared to the main house. That's my primary concern. Thank you.
Can you bring?
Abby?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Can't bring in any of the elevations. Okay.
okay, so, now that we've seen the main house, with those really long drawn out, those hips, I wish that there was a little bit more of that on this to relate back to the main house. I was just wondering if you could somehow incorporate that into the cottage. I agree that the clipped gables go a long way and the porch also has a hip on it. But it does it.
Yeah,
I
can I?
did wish it.
Yeah, well, I'll explain the issue that we have is ground cover. So in order to
figured.
get the second floor to be viable, we had to use a slightly higher eve
Okay,
height, but we thought that all the other details tied it together.
Yeah, that's the only stickler for me that I'd like, that is such a sort of a Frank Lloyd Wright look of that heavy eaves and this is sweet and it looks like a Sconset cottage, but it doesn't really relate to the main house for me. Thanks.
and do you have a particular aspect that you feel would be helpful that you can quantify?
Well, it sounds like they have a ground cover issue. So in order to make like those low sweeping hips, they might not have the land
Yeah.
to do that. So
We only have
I'll leave it
500
at
square
that.
feet.
Okay, Dale?
I had no concerns with it the first way. I love it even more this way. I have no concerns.
Okay, great. And then let's see.
Joe.
Joe.
Yeah, my thoughts echo what Val just described, and I would add that, you know, for a 500 square foot footprint rectangle, that the details and the roof form, you've pulled a lot of character out of a simple plan, and it's not fussy, but I think it works well with the existing structure and the context to ensconce it. So I'm in favor. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Lisa, I'll keep it short. I think the clip gables are wonderful. Haven't met one I don't like, and they are such a character defining, and they do pull in. Hey, ladies. Guys. It's character defining, picks up the vocabulary of the main house, I think significantly, and certainly enough to make this work for me in terms of appropriateness. I would prefer to be a little bit shorter. I do gravitate towards Abby's comments, but I understand the program you're working with. I think it's approvable.
I'd make a motion to approve as submitted.
On your motion,
Aye.
let's see, Angus,
A nay.
Abby,
Is Connie on this? Sorry.
Joe is
Joe
on.
Joe is, oh, okay,
Joe is.
I'm an aye.
I'm an aye. Joe?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Let the record reflect 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Angus opposed. And with that, we're
Thank
gonna
you.
move on to, thanks, Lisa. We're gonna move on to 47
Nick, hurry up.
South Cambridge. All right, guys, so this may be our last one.
That'd be
He's hoping to
great.
get their math.
What do we?
All right, good evening.
I am sharing.
47.
Hi, Nick Lacerdo. I'm the homeowner at 47 South Cambridge. I came from off the island today to be here with you today. Thank you very much. You guys do a tremendous job keeping the island great and looking beautiful. I'm going to go really fast because we don't have any time. Here's the locust plan. As you can see, we are lucky to really only have a neighbor on one side of our property. What that means, though, unfortunately, is we just have deer streaming in and out of the property all day, every day. We have 2 young children. We have ticks on us all the time. I had one on myself today, just changing a bike tire. It's gotten out of control. We're here to seek approval for a deer fence. I know there's some issues with and concern around having it be around the entire perimeter of the property. There is vegetation around literally the entire perimeter, most of it natural. On one side, it's a privet hedge. The height will cover, if not the entirety of the height of the fence. If it doesn't cover the entirety, it'll cover, you know, all but maybe 6 inches. For 3 out of the 4 lines of the property, I'm looking to put it about a foot into the property from the property line. But again, it'll be in vegetation. I'll show photos for all this in a minute. And then at South Cambridge, I'm trying to come with some prudent ideas from the get-go. I'm not looking to put it right on the property line. I'm looking to put it about 10 feet in from the property line. But again, it'll be in dense vegetation. The one thing I think anyone will be able to see, but it'll be beautiful, is the proposed gate. It'll be all cedar. I'm proposing to put it about 50 feet up the driveway. I'm not proposing to have it right at the street. I've got like 20 photos in my submission of examples around the island, just in like a 10-minute drive, of gates that are painted in most cases that are right at the street. I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to put it up. The gate is going to be closed only at night in the summertime. So during the day, it'll be open. And as you look, if anyone visited the property, when you look up the driveway, you'll barely see the gate when the doors are open, because they will go with the driveway line. When it's closed at night, there's really no light. Nobody's going to see it. I'm going to go through really fast. That's the locus. Here's like the wire of the gate, or sorry, of the fence. I think you're used to seeing that. Here's a view from up the driveway down toward the bottom. Here's a view from the bottom of the driveway up to the top. Here's another just zoomed out view of the property. I try to get fancy here. I'm just doing this myself. I don't have any fancy software. All the red stuff is the existing vegetation. If you've driven down South Cambridge, you know the spot where my house is. It's got the quaint, cute mailbox patch. There's like 20 decrepit mailboxes. I love the charming character. The fence is going to be like, those are actually on my property. The fence is going to be like 10 feet behind those. It's going to be completely buried. As you look up the driveway, if you could see with my cursor, the gate is going to be way up here. Can you see that kind of scrolling across? You'll see right here where I'm circling. There's no vegetation weirdly in this spot. So we're not proposing to have the fence come along this part of the driveway. We're proposing to have it come along this side. This is all vegetation here, the red. Come up, meet the gate, and then go up the rest of the property line where all the dense vegetation is. So again, all hidden. There's a bunch of zoom ins here, but we don't have time to look at those. I try to get kind of cute and fancy to give you guys a zoom in. Here's some more of, this is looking down the driveway. That is a property stake. It's in the vegetation. You can see that it's about 18 inches in. This was taken a month ago, so nothing had started blooming. In some spots, I've got like 10 feet deep where it's going to be. This would be one post for the gate. The other post would be here at the cone. This is a Land Rover Defender. You can see how small the vehicle looks from looking down at South Cambridge. And again, when the gate is open, this will all be open. You won't see anything. And the deer fencing will be hidden in the shrubbery there. I've got a ton of similar photos. I think you probably get the idea. I'm really just trying to keep my family safe. It's going to cost me a lot of money to do something I'd rather put into like another car or something really fun. I don't want to put a deer fence in, but we have ticks on us all the time. It's gotten out of control and I'm just looking for some sort of support. Thank you very much.
Nicholas, thank you for your presentation. So your board will be myself, Val, Connie Patton, and Paul. Sorry, Joe.
Oh. I'll go if you want.
Before you guys
Any
begin,
question?
Angus, can I just a point of information, just to keep things orderly in the record?
Mhm.
The HTC doesn't, it's not, safety is not part of our purview, unfortunately, and neither is noise, because if it is, it'd be a different island.
Fair enough. Yep.
But there you have it. Sorry, Angus, go ahead.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Stephen. So, are there any questions for the applicant?
No.
If not, go ahead, Val.
Okay. First of all, I appreciate, Nick, your thorough research and giving us all this information. For me, it's buried in the vegetation. There are other gates there. This is 50 feet back. I have no concerns with this. And if anybody does, we can always put a caveat, can't be seen, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you.
Who's next?
I can go.
Go ahead, Connie.
I also have no concerns. And thank you for all the photos.
Sorry to overwhelm you with them, but
No, it was good. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe?
I have no concerns with the gate and appreciate you pushing it back. I do have a concern that we're talking about a 7.5-foot fence that is going to be 1 foot from the property line on the driveway side. And I know there was mention of a 10-foot setback from the property line. I think that's on the street side with natural vegetation screening it. And all of the red that is shown on the plans that's on somebody else's property. So I don't feel comfortable approving any kind of a deer fence that is utilizing adjoining properties. There are properties on 3 sides of this, not just one. So I think that the deer fence should be inset on all sides. I understand it runs through the privet on one side, and I think, I mean, I don't know what the height of the privet is, but the fence is 7.5 feet tall. So I have a concern. I have a concern with the fence. And I think it's the right fence. I think it's, they do disappear. The chance of the adjoining property exposing it because it's a condo association is probably minimal, but yeah, I just have to look at it objectively, and the driveway location is incongruent with the fence, in my opinion. So I don't support the fence. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. So I agree with some of what's been said. So I agree that the fence shouldn't be on the line. It should be on the on your side of the vegetation. The vegetation along the street, along Cambridge Street, is thick, and so I believe that the fence could be hidden in there, and we could have a caveat that it wouldn't be seen, or mostly not seen. Um, but then I get concerned about the left side of the driveway as you go up towards the gate. I don't have an issue with the gate, but the fence is shown right basically on the driveway and also to the left of the gate where there isn't any vegetation. And then certainly along the west or let's say the left side of this of the lot as you're looking from the street where it's on the property line and not hidden by your vegetation. So what is the pleasure of the board?
How about motion to approve with the caveat can't be seen at time of inspection and thereafter?
So we have a motion on your motion, Val.
Aye.
Joe?
I'm a no.
Connie?
Aye.
And as presented, I'm a no as well. So we've got
2 and 2.
2 and 2. Would someone like to make another motion?
What would the other motion be?
Joe, do you want to make a
Reduce
shot
the
at this?
fence height.
Well, sure. I agree, Angus, with your comment that I don't think we're going to see it from Cambridge Street. It's set back 10 feet. I'll trust that that's going to screen it. I think Val's caveat made me feel comfortable there. I think having it be in the privet is, no pun intended, on the fence, but I'm willing to accept it. I think the rear of the property, that it should come in 10 feet from the rear of the property. And I think as it turns the corner towards the top of the driveway, that it should also be in 10 feet from the property. I guess then it jogs out because unless you moved the existing driveway in, I think I'd get comfortable with it being, you're going to see the fence more than anybody. And I do believe that the property next door is in all likelihood not going to be cleared in that area and not going to be built. I think it's common space. So that's a little bit of a mitigating factor for me. So that's a long, I would make a motion to approve with 10-foot setback off the property line along South Cambridge and along the rear of the lot, in the privet as described by the client, and 10 feet off the property line up to the driveway, along whatever orientation that is. And I have no issues with the gate. Looking down the driveway and seeing that fence, I think, you're looking interior to your property. That I don't have as much of a concern there. It's really along the abutting properties that concerns me. It's not a great precedent to set. So
Thank you for that, Joe. I just want to clarify that when you're looking up the driveway from Cambridge Street, you're not suggesting to take what fence would be on the right side of the driveway and jog it into the driveway 10 feet.
I'm not suggesting that.
Okay.
I think it could stay as proposed, but as it gets to the head of the driveway, it steps in. I really would like to avoid utilizing vegetation on the abutting properties to screen this. If they happen to get cleared, I think we want to preserve as much lack of visibility as possible.
But on the left side of the driveway, as you're looking from Cambridge, South Cambridge Street, that it would be inset 10 feet. Is that?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that. Yes, I do think you should screen it from the driveway side, up to the gate. Yeah.
Okay, is that clear to everyone?
What?
I mean, I could do a quick exhibit A actually on my end.
Did you
And-
want to respond?
I just want to make sure I'm clear and then.
Well, I think Joe could do an exhibit A.
But I think I understand what Joe's saying, which is as you look up the driveway, it would have to be 10 feet from my property line, which is on the right, which would mean that the whole.
No.
Okay.
It stays on the right of the
Okay.
drive, but on the left, it bumps over into the vegetation 10 feet, just like it does along Cambridge Street, going 10 feet off the street, so that it's deep into the vegetation, and then it goes, it's 10 feet back from the back of the lot, the back of your backyard. And it's set inside the hedge along the left side, from front to back. Am I correct with that, Jeff?
Yeah, and you know what? You just zoomed in on the site plan there, up at the top part of the page where the shed is. The shed looks like it's 10.9 off there. I mean, it's where I'm looking at this as it's either 5 feet or 5 feet probably wouldn't be enough, but I think that fence could come across from the right-hand side of the driveway, connect into the corner of the shed, and then it goes back. So that the shed becomes part of the boundary, if that makes sense. And then you come in from the back property line. That way you've got 90% of this fence is going to be covered by your own vegetation.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure, because it's tough to see on this, the back lot line is 200, around about 200 feet from the street. It's not visible from the street at all. And I guess if you peered and you were like, literally like, I want to find it, you're gonna see it, but it's all vegetation in there. So I prefer to not.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'll
little
rescind
worried
my
about-
motion. Thanks.
He'll what?
Rescind his motion.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody else can craft a motion. I'm not comfortable setting a precedent of putting a 7.5 foot fence on anybody's property line. And if it was your neighbor proposing it and you had an open lot, I would hope that you'd appreciate it. I'm not comfortable making that motion. Thanks.
Can I ask for a clarification? When you guys are saying on the property line, I keep trying to clarify that I'm already proposing to put it a foot into my property, so not on the lot line.
Just, may I, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I think where you are is you don't have a consensus for what you proposed.
Okay.
We have a very likely consensus for the fence to be brought in 10 feet on the two sides and whatever it is on the front, but not along the right of the driveway side. I'm not suggesting that you go with it, but that's what you have potentially on the table. And it seems like it's very viable for a solution, and you have a solution. And if you need to come back at a later date to make a modification, you can request that.
I guess what I'm still hearing though is that on the right side of the line, on the right side of the driveway, I need to bring it in from the property line, which is either in the middle of my driveway or on the left side of the driveway.
That's not what I said, actually.
Okay.
Not until you get up to the shed does it bump over. So at the end of the driveway is when it bumps to the shed.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be an exhibit A.
And Joe,
Did folks
Joe
go and
offered-
view the property?
I did.
I did.
Can you just?
Yeah.
I guess, do you mind if I jump in a little bit? I'm
Please
not
help
really-
yourself.
I'm a facilitator. as
Thank you.
here.
Yeah. 'Cause I appreciate your thoughtfulness on this. I just want to like,
Yeah,
They
zoom
come
out,
up
zoom out,
like
zoom
that.
out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, way out, a little
Yep.
bit more, way out. Okay, so basically, my understanding is it would be. This is the front, right?
Mhm.
And this is the right, and it would be where you proposed it, subject to screening, being maintained. Back at the shed, it would come in can come around 10 feet in from the property line, around and back down. I'm not sure where it is here relative to the 10 feet. But there's nothing suggesting that where the driveway area is that the fence will be in the middle of the driveway. And it wouldn't transition, if I understand correctly, until you get to the shed at the rear. And then you'll be at a 10-foot inset. And then if someone might just clarify where the inset is on the left side property line, if that's a full 10 feet to where, because the house is 11.2 off, and it appears to be that there's either some utility items or a set of stairs on the left rear corner of the house. So I think that's the only open thing. And in the interest of time, not tonight, but going forward, if you guys have a few more minutes in you to discuss this, I would suggest we try and resolve it with clarification of the left side fence beginning at the corner of the house coming forward. And I think that's consistent with Joe's motion. And if it is, great. And if it's not, I'm gonna just let you guys muddle through it.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
would you consider a lower fence instead of the 7.5 foot?
I would, except I've been told by multiple people that it's got to be this height to actually keep the deer from getting over it. What I would definitely be willing to do, if it would sway anybody, is I think there's an alternative to like the sort of 4x4 inch square wire fencing where you get these horizontal strings of wire and they seem to be a little bit less visible and holes are drilled into the posts. I'd be willing to do that. But I don't want to put the fence up if the deer are just going to jump over it. And that's the issue with the shorter fence. I'm also trying to not like literally lose use of the property.
So what we normally do is that we provide, like if the fencing wants to be very close to the property line, is that it would be inside and inset in the hedge. So it would be part of the hedge or some planting material. And the concern is that it's proposed too close to the property line. When you get very far off the property line, yes, then it gets confusing. Whose land is this anyway? So I understand that, but the concern is that there isn't, if your neighbor cleared everything of their own property and they were left with a 7-foot fence, that's the issue.
Could I maybe propose something that perhaps an approval with the condition that like there's always vegetation coming through the fence, and therefore I think it would alleviate that concern about it maybe not being in vegetation. Someone made the point that, I mean, the townhouses next door, my understanding is those are not, that land cannot be done. You can see the little like slivers that go through. No person can do anything unless they sell that entire lot.
You don't have the votes.
Well, but I'd like to say something. What I'm struggling with is this blanket 10-foot thing. He only has 11 feet on the south to the corner of the building.
Val, all we said, and this actually, the applicant said 10 feet from South Cambridge, great. 10 feet from the rear of the lot, great. Put it in the privet as the client suggested along the entire left-hand side, great. You want, run it along the driveway. We're just talking about up to the gate. If you scooch down on the left-hand side of the driveway where that fence is shown, that comes in from the edge of the drive so that it's screened from South Cambridge and screened from the view up the driveway to the gate. Once you get in the gate, nobody's asking the fence to move. It's right where he's proposed it with some reluctance, all the way back to the shed. And then at the shed, it goes left to the shed, which is 10 feet off the corner, and goes back to the rear of the property, rear fence, which is 10 feet in. So it's really a 10-foot setback off the front, a 10-foot setback off the rear, and then about 5 to 5 to 10 feet off the driveway side. So you don't see any of this fencing from the road up to the gate. You see it interior of the property along the edge of the driveway, and then it returns into the shed. I actually thought we were trying to be flexible in doing this, because it's becoming an island of deer fences.
No,
And-
well, you're right about that.
If you're willing, Joe, I'm happy to proceed with your motion as stated and just see where we land.
Yeah, and I'm happy to draw an Exhibit A as I just described it. And I honestly think that, I don't want to be punitive and ask you to move. If this was a new house, the driveway wouldn't be in this location. We'd be asking for a buffer. It's common practice for us to ask for a buffer all the way around the perimeter. And then to move the driveway inward, but trying to be considerate of the existing conditions. So happy to do an Exhibit A. And
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Joe. On your motion,
aye.
Val,
Aye.
Connie,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. So if you want to, you can come back and do revisions or something, but at least you have an approval for a deer fence.
Thank you all.
I'll sketch
Appreciate your
that right
time.
now, and I'm going to email it to.
Thank you for that,
to
Joe.
Kathy. All right, thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to move on
Thank
to approval of minutes, March 24th and March 31st. To have a motion? All right, we'll go with the members present: Angus, Val, Ray, myself, and Connie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm a no.
I didn't read them.
Yeah, I did read them. Next HCC meeting, stay tuned on May 26th at 4 p.m. It'll be a new business meeting.
And Monday's a holiday.
And Monday is a holiday, Memorial Day, folks. Don't forget about that. Okay, thanks everyone.
Connie, you have a
Congratulations, Val. Yeah. Nice job. Ray. Who got more votes? We don't know yet.
Who's the chair? The chair? Yeah, the HEC. You are? No, who is? Oh, what is he? Perfect. Good or bad?
I thought y'all were great. I thought it was great. It's very interesting.
All right. He's the chair.
It was. I'm trying to understand what y'all did.
We're jumping around in chairs.